Chapter 252. The first place could sign an endorsement contract and get an annual salary of 1 million. The second and third place could go home with the bonus, and the event would be over. If it was decided internally, they could just find 3 people. Why would they need to spend the event planning and advertising fees? Of course, Xiaochen knew that Yu Xiaochuan was looking for the lady of Xianin. Lin Kuo also saw the advertisement on TV. She secretly sent the registration information and waited for the unified organization to organize a physical examination. In Lin's eyes, this was a great opportunity. Even if she couldn't get first place, the second and third place would get 300,000 and 100,000 respectively. If Lin got it, it would relieve the pressure of her family. After signing up, Lin Kuo waited patiently. However, what surprised her was that Xiao Chun and Tang Tang didn't come to the morning market to set up their stalls. Where did they go? Lin called Tang Tang's phone, but it was turned off. She wanted to call Xiao Chun, but she didn't have the courage. She could only look at Xiao Chun and Tang Tang's booth every morning to see if there was anyone. The news of the competition was just announced yesterday. Today, he received thousands of registration letters on the website and in physical mail. Red Hair reported it to Yu Xiaochuan, which made him very surprised. How many girls could there be in a school? However, on the first day of registration, there were already thousands. Yu Xiaochuan didn't believe that he couldn't find the lady of Xianin. Anyway, he could continue to hold events and expand the scope of registration. The cost of a spokesperson was only 1 million. Including the awards, it wasn't much. In order to find the lady of Xianin, Yu Xiaochuan was willing to invest any amount of money. Good, very good. The first batch of registration will be limited to 10,000. Then, you take them to do a physical examination. If there is a blood match, then stop the registration and select 1, 2, and 3. If there is no match, then continue. Yu Xiaochuan ordered. Okay, young Master Kun. Red Hair quickly responded. What about the second and third place? What's the evaluation standard? That is up to you. Yu Xiaochuan didn't care about the second and third place. Okay, young Master Kun. Don't worry, I will definitely do it well. Red Hair quickly said. What Red Fur didn't expect was that the number of registrations on the first day had reached the 10,000 mark. Red Fur immediately stopped the registrations and got his subordinates to inform these 10,000 people to gather for a physical examination tomorrow. Of course, Red Hair had already contacted the hospital where the physical examination would be conducted. He had also informed them that everyone would only be tested on their blood tomorrow and nothing else. He had mobilized a lot of nurses to collect their blood and many doctors to conduct tests together. Therefore, it was nothing new for 10,000 people to be examined at the same time. Lin also received the news. She was excited and planned to go for a physical examination the next morning. Just as Yu Xiaochuan was bustling about, at this very moment, the Xiao family welcomed an uninvited guest. What made Xiao Yuanshan a little surprised was that martial artist marketplace's medicine master son actually came to visit. Medicine master son? What is he here to see? Xiao Yuanshan looked at Xiao Hai and asked. I'm not too sure either. Xiao Hai shook his head. Father, didn't you see him before? Has your illness been cured? Xiao Hai's words reminded Xiao Yuanshan. Could it be that medicine master's son found a way to cure his illness, and that's why he secretly came to visit? After all, Xiao Yuanshan requested the martial artist marketplace to keep this a secret. Even Xiao Hai didn't know about it. Alright, how about this? Tell him to come in and find me. Then, you can busy yourself with your own matters. Xiao Yuanshan instructed Xiao Hai. Yes, father. Xiao Hai didn't think much, and went out to tell medicine master's son to see his father. Meanwhile, he went to busy himself with the Xiao family's matters. Ever since his big brother went missing, he had to shoulder all the family matters alone. It was very tiring for him. Old man Xiao, how have you been? Medicine master's son chuckled as he walked into Xiao Yuanshan's room. Xiao Yuanshan hurriedly got up to welcome him. Even though medicine master's son's age was considered his junior, martial artists respected strength. Those with high strength were called seniors, and those with low strength were called juniors. Even though Medicine Master Sun's martial artist cultivation wasn't much, he was still a medicine master. He was also a very powerful existence. Xiao Yuanshan couldn't help but be respectful. So it's Medicine Master Sunday. Your presence really brings light to my humble home. Haha, old man Xiao must be joking. I'm just here to take a look. I'm just a small character. What's there to bring light to? Medicine Master Sun waved his hand and said, Old man Xiao, your poison, how is it? It's still the same. Xiao Yuanshan sighed. Thank you for Medicine Master Sun's concern. Now, do you have a good solution? Not yet, but I've been working hard to research and search. I believe that in the near future, Old Man Zhao's poison will be cured. Medicine Master Sun said. That's good. At least there's something to think about. Xiao Yuanshan also knew that Medicine Master Sun was mostly consoling him, but he still smiled. Consoling was also good. As long as there was a glimmer of hope, he didn't want to give it up. All right, Medicine Master Sun. Then why did you come to the Xiao family? Medicine Master Sun's purpose of coming here made Xiao Yuanshan a little suspicious. He had heard about the recent dispute between the Sun family and the Xie family. The Sun family was prospering. If Medicine Master Sun didn't come here to cure his poison, then what was it for? I won't hide it from Old Man Xiao. This time, I'm here to represent the Sun family to surrender. Medicine Master Sun's expression suddenly turned serious. He cupped his fist and said, Old Man Xiao, I hope that the Xiao family can save the Sun family. Consider that I tried my best to suppress the poison for you. Oh, what do you mean? Xiao Yuanshan was stunned. He didn't know why Medicine Master Sun would make such a move. He still didn't know that the Sun family had already been removed from the list of suppliers in the warriors' market. This kind of news, the Xiao family usually had to wait for a day or two before they could find out. After all, the Xiao family didn't have anyone to specifically inquire about the news. Xiao Hai was too busy with his own matters. It's like this. Medicine Master Sun didn't hide anything. He told Xiao Yuanshan about how he had recently offended Chen Jinping. Offended the Chen family? Your Sun family is unwise. Xiao Yuanshan couldn't help but sigh after listening. This Sun family was indeed a little too complacent. They clearly knew that the Chen family's Chen Huanling had just been promoted to the Warriors Guild's vice president. Yet they still went to provoke him? Wasn't this courting death? Actually, in the end, this matter can only be blamed on that brat, Xiao Chen. Medicine Master Sun sighed and said helplessly, Oh, what does it have to do with Xiao Chen? Xiao Yuanshan was a little puzzled. How did Xiao Chen get involved? Initially, the one who had a conflict with our Sun family was Xiao Chen. Chen Jinping was only helping Xiao Chen, the boss, and that's why we became enemies. Medicine Master Sun told him about how Xiao Chen was humiliated, and how Chen Jinping stood up for him. What? Chen Jinping is now still working as Xiao Chen's underling? Xiao Yuanshan was a little shocked after listening. Was there something wrong with this Chen Jinping's brain? Xiao Chen was already chased out of the family, yet he still went to work as an underling? How retarded would he be? Yeah, I'm also quite puzzled. The most infuriating thing is that Qiao Yuliang from the Qiao family also joined in and helped Xiao Chen. Medicine Master Sun was very depressed. He even killed a level 6 inner strength guard from our Sun family. Uft. Ahem. Xiao Yuanshan felt like he was listening to a book from heaven. It was fine that Chen Jinping was out of his mind, but Qiao Yuliang and Xiao Chen used to be sworn enemies, right? Why did he help Xiao Chen? Were they brainwashed? If he didn't know that Medicine Master Sun wouldn't joke about the Sun family's life and death, he would have thought that Medicine Master Sun was talking nonsense. But these things were easy to investigate. He would just ask Xiao Hai to find out tomorrow. In order to avoid arousing suspicion, Xiao Yuanshan rarely asked Xiao Hai to ask about Xiao Chen. He only knew that Xiao Chen was currently living okay. But it was a bit hard. He was a servant for Cheng Minjing without a salary. Every morning, he would go to the morning market with Tang Tang to sell breakfast. But he didn't know what relationship he had with Chen Jinping and Qiao Yuliang. Now it seemed that it was really strange. Old man Xiao, we had a good relationship in the past. I treated you before. Even when Xiao Chen was a child, I also saw that he couldn't practice martial arts. So I didn't suggest the Sun family to go against Xiao Chen. I just asked the Sun family to take revenge on Chen Jinping. Who knew that this would happen? Medicine Master Sun said, as if he was very caring for the Xiao family. But this time, Xiao Yuanshan really believed it. From his point of view, with the Sun family's strength, they might not be able to touch Chen Jinping and Qiao Yuliang. But if they wanted to touch Xiao Chen wouldn't be able to hide for even a day. Facing a giant like the Sun family, Xiao Chen was too weak. One person was too small. Anyone from the Sun family could crush him to death. But what Xiao Yuanshan didn't know was that the Sun family was about to be wiped out by his weak grandson. Thank you, Medicine Master Sun, for giving me face. Although Xiao Chen was kicked out of the family, I don't want him to die. Xiao Yuanshan sighed, revealing his true feelings. Medicine Master Sun thought to himself. As expected, if he died, there would be no one left in the Xiao family. It might really make Xiao Chen come back. But Xiao Chen was a big waste. Dealing with him was a piece of cake. He could kill him in minutes. It was better to take over the Xiao family first. Well said, well said. Medicine Master Sun said. Right now, our Sun family is at a dead end. We're ready to rely on the Xiao family. If Elder Xiao accepts us, then you will be our master. Xiao Chen will be our young master. Our Sun family is a dependent family, so we can't be disrespectful to him. We'll talk about Xiao Chen later. You mean you want to rely on the Xiao family? Xiao Yuanshan was a little surprised. Although the Sun family was at a dead end, how much courage would it take to rely on someone else? After all, if the Sun family didn't offend the Chen family, with the speed at which the Sun family accumulated strength, they would quickly enter the ranks of the aristocratic families. In the next aristocratic family selection, they might even replace one of the families. Chapter 253. That's right, please accept us, Elder Xiao. Medicine Master Sun nodded. Then, what benefits will our Xiao family get in the future? Xiao Yuanshan asked. All of Sun family's business channels can be used by the Xiao family to quickly expand the business. As long as we have the Xiao family's name, it will be easy for us to do business. We only want 30% of the profits, and the remaining 70% will belong to the Xiao family, Medicine Master Sun said. Xiao Yuanshan sucked in a breath of cold air. This Sun family's move was really big. Their business channels, and they only took 30% of the profits. This was basically operating costs. After all, hiring staff and shop costs were all costs. They worked so hard, and only took 30% in the end. This was a sign that they were sincere. And the Xiao family's weakness was their business. After doing business for so many years, there wasn't much improvement. It wasn't a problem for him to support his family, but to say that he was rich was still far from it. Especially since Xiao Hai couldn't handle it alone. So at this moment, Xiao Yuanshan was tempted. Okay, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Xiao Yuanshan nodded. No problem. Elder Xiao, I'll be leaving first. If there's any news, call me at any time. I'll be waiting for your good news. Medicine Master Sun looked at Xiao Yuanshan and knew that the matter was almost done. All that was left was to discuss the details with Xiao Hai. He didn't say much and got up to leave. After Medicine Master Sun left, Xiao Hai was called into the house by Xiao Yuanshan, and the two began to discuss. Xiao Chen was going to use the last pot of medicine tonight. If it didn't work, he would need to buy more ingredients tomorrow. Xiao Chen realized that his medicine was being used up very quickly. Although the jade thumb ring was assisting Xiao Chen's cultivation, Xiao Chen also realized that although the jade thumb ring was effective, it was worlds apart from the jade pendant. The spiritual energy contained in the two was not on the same level. Hence, Xiao Chen urgently needed other spirit jades. If he could cultivate together, 2 spirit jades would release spiritual energy at the same time. That way the effects and cultivation speed would be faster. Without any surprise, Xiao Chen still didn't break through. From Xiao Chen's point of view, he was only a little bit away from breaking through. It seemed like he could reach it, but he couldn't touch it at the same time. Xiao Chen felt as if he was far away, yet close at hand. If the jade ring was a little more powerful, Xiao Chen would have broken through. However, the problem now was that the jade ring wasn't powerful enough. The amount of spiritual energy it provided in a unit of time was not enough for Xiao Chen to successfully break through. Therefore, Xiao Chen could only cultivate slowly. In this way, Xiao Chen urgently needed other spiritual jades. It depended on whether Chen Jinping could really get it or not. Xiao Chen didn't believe that Lin Chao could get it. If Lin Chao was so powerful, why would he follow Li Xiaopao? Nothing happened that night. It was no surprise that Xiao Chen didn't break through. The next morning, Xiao Chen went to see Tang Tang and went to school. Tang Tang hadn't woken up yet. But Xiao Chen suddenly found that Tang Yun's body seemed to be a little swollen, as if a lot of water had been poured under her skin. This made Xiao Chen a little worried. Elder Heaven Ancestor, what's going on? Why does Tang Tang look like a floating corpse? Xiao Chen asked quickly. What's under her skin? Oh, it's all toxins. She should wake up in a while and go to the toilet to detoxify. Elder Heaven Ancestor said. The toxins in her body are more than I thought. I'm afraid she will have to delay waking up a little. I still have to postpone it. When will she wake up? Xiao Chen asked. Even if it's delayed, it won't be long. She will wake up in a few hours, Elder Heaven Ancestor said. Oh, then I'd better go. I wanted to wait for her to wake up. But she needs to go to the toilet as soon as she wakes up. How awkward would she be if I'm here? Xiao Chen knew very well how smelly the toxins in his body were. And he was still in a normal body. Tang Tang's poison body might not be able to knock people out, but it would stink to the heavens. So, Xiao Chen had better leave first, so that Tang Tang wouldn't be so embarrassed. Xiao Chen immediately went to Tang Tang's house. At the same time, on Yu Xiaochuan's side, Red Hair organized the contestants to go to the hospital for a physical examination in the morning. As for Ker Lin, she also secretly went to participate in the physical examination. When Xiao Chen arrived at the school, there weren't many people. As soon as he walked to the playground, a red and cool Land Rover rushed toward him. F***CK. Xiao Chen was stunned. This is the rhythm of wanting to kill me. He dodged subconsciously, but at this moment, the Land Rover behind him screeched to a stop behind Xiao Chen. Obviously, this person's purpose wasn't to kill Xiao Chen, but to scare Xiao Chen. Qi Zhigao jumped out of the car. He didn't expect Xiao Chen to dodge so quickly. Your reaction is quite quick. Is it because you have been beaten up too much recently that your dodging skills have improved? Qi Zhigao. Xiao Chen was stunned. He looked at his car, and he didn't see Xiao Xiao. He was a little puzzled. This guy finally couldn't hold it in for a while? Hee, it's me, your father. Qi Zhigao smiled. Whose father did you say you are? A hint of violence flashed in Xiao Chen's eyes. This feeling came again. Xiao Chen couldn't help but have the urge to kill Qi Zhigao. Qi Zhigao, you changed quite fast. You even called me Brother Xiao before. Xiao Chen found that as long as someone touched his reverse scale, he would have the urge to kill. This reverse scale included his family and friends. Oh, sorry, your father is dead. I don't want to be your father. Qi Zhigao saw that Xiao Chen was angry, and he was even happier. Kid, I respected you as Xiao Zhao's brother and called you brother. But now, even Xiao Xiao doesn't care about you. I don't respect you at all. Xiao Chen took a deep breath. This Qi Zhigao was a spoiled child. He didn't have much evil intentions towards him. He was just here to vent his anger. Otherwise, he would have crashed his car earlier. There was no need to brake. Moreover, this guy was sincere towards Xiao Xiao. Xiao Chen didn't want to kill him because of his personal feelings. Although there was no one in the school now, no one would know if he killed him. Go, I don't want to see you. Xiao Chen waved his hand and turned to leave. Did your Gao bro let you go? Qi Zhigao slapped the back of Lin Yi's head. He was a stage 3 inner force martial artist, but at this moment, he controlled his inner force and suppressed it to around stage 1. In other words, he could beat Xiao Chen up until his sister couldn't recognize him. But he couldn't take Xiao Chen's life. Xiao Chen took 2 steps forward and dodged. He didn't even turn his head and said, Qi Zhigao, are you done? Xiao Chen didn't want to kill him, but he was getting angry. Of course I'm not done. Xiao Chen, if I didn't beat you up today, it would be unfair to my car. That day, Yu Xiaochuan was here, so I could only endure it. Now, no one can help you. Haha, if I beat you up, Xiao Xiao will think that I'm very manly. Wahahaha. Qi Zhigao looked at Xiao Chen proudly. However, speaking of Yu Xiaochuan, he was even angrier. Yu Xiaochuan said that he would pay for Xiao Chen's car. But he didn't even see a single cent. What a scam! So, his admiration and respect for Yu Xiaochuan turned into disgust. Young people at this age always looked up to those who were slightly older and very capable, and treated them as their goal. However, Yu Xiaochuan's actions made Qi Zhigao lose his interest. However, Qi Zhigao's behavior made Xiao Chen speechless. Does beating me up give you a sense of accomplishment? However, Xiao Chen didn't want to be beaten up for no reason, because he pretended to be weak. Otherwise, how could he go to school? Xiao Chen had a lot of things to do recently. If he didn't resist and get beaten up, he wouldn't be able to go to the car race tomorrow. Don't force me, okay? Xiao Chen looked at Qi Zhigao and was really speechless. If you're a man, fight with me. Don't beg for mercy. No wonder Xiao Xiao looks down on you. You're a weakling, a coward, and a cripple. Qi Zhigao shouted. Xiao Chen pondered for a moment. Suddenly, he turned around and kicked Qi Zhigao. At this moment, Xiao Chen revealed his full strength. The strength of the peak of level 4 Qi refinement stage erupted, which was equivalent to more than level 5 Qi refinement stage. This made Qi Zhigao instantly dumbfounded. Before Xiao Chen's foot arrived, the wind from the kick had already pushed the unprepared Qi Zhigao directly to the ground. His face was filled with disbelief, horror, and confusion. How could Xiao Chen be a martial artist? Moreover, his strength had reached the peak of level 5 Qi refinement stage. How was this possible? This was unrealistic. However, unrealistic was unrealistic. While Qi Zhigao was still in shock, Xiao Chen's foot had already arrived. Qi Zhigao subconsciously closed his eyes. He was only a level 3 Qi refinement stage martial artist. Even if he resisted with all his strength, and Xiao Chen didn't attack with all his strength, he would still be seriously injured. However, when Xiao Chen's foot stepped on his chest, he held back his strength. Qi Zhigao felt for a long time. Other than the feeling of a foot stepping on his body, there was nothing wrong. Qi Zhigao opened his eyes and looked at the big foot in front of him in disbelief. Looking at Xiao Chen, who was looking down on him, he subconsciously said, "Brother Xiao, I was wrong. Don't step on me to death." He thought that Xiao Chen wanted him to say a few last words before he died. Wasn't it usually like this on TV and in novels? Before killing someone, they would let the victim say a few last words. Therefore, Qi Zhigao was directly scared to death. Qi Zhigao, aren't you very capable? Why are you scared? You are a weakling, a coward, and a cripple. Xiao Chen returned all the words that Qi Zhigao had said before to Qi Zhigao. In an instant, the momentum of his body erupted again, as if he was going to step on Qi Zhigao to death. Brother Xiao, I was wrong. I am a weakling. Qi Zhigao was indeed scared to death. Don't tell anyone about what happened today. Otherwise, I can easily kill you. Xiao Chen said lightly. Chapter 254. I can't. Brother Xiao, I'm your brother-in-law. How can I talk nonsense? Qi Zhigao quickly said. Whose brother-in-law are you? I don't have a brother-in-law like you. Xiao Chen shook his head and snorted coldly. Brother, I was wrong before. You know, your brother-in-law admires the strong. Brother Xiao, weren't you a good-for-nothing before? How did you suddenly have the strength of the peak of the 5th stage of inner force? What's going on? I'm a little confused. Qi Zhigao said while lying on the ground with a smile. Nothing. Just don't talk nonsense. Xiao Chen didn't answer him, because Xiao Chen couldn't answer it clearly. Moreover, Xiao Chen didn't want to tell anyone about the Elder Heaven Ancestor. At least not for the time being. Don't worry. Qi Zhigao nodded repeatedly. By the way, Brother Xiao, I know. You must have deliberately hidden your strength, and then acted with the Xiao family. They drove you out to investigate the disappearance of my uncle. Is that true? Who the F***ck is your uncle? Xiao Chen said angrily. I'm your brother-in-law, brother. Uncle Xiaofeng is my uncle. Qi Zhigao said. You understand it yourself. Xiao Chen didn't expect that although Qi Zhigao was a playboy, his brain was very sharp. He actually found out that there was something wrong with his father's disappearance. Yes. Qi Zhigao nodded repeatedly. Don't tell Xiao Xiao about this, Xiao Chen said. Oh. Xiao Xiao doesn't know. Qi Zhigao nodded quickly. She doesn't know, Xiao Chen said. Oh, she still doesn't know that her brother is a shining figure. If she knew, she would definitely worship you to death. Qi Zhigao said. No, Brother Xiao, I already worship you to death. I just know that there is a master beside me. So it turns out that my big brother is the legendary existence of the younger generation. He hid his superb strength and endured humiliation to clear his father's name. He even secretly went to the guardian goddess and flirted with girls in secret. It's so cool, so awesome, so awesome. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. But from Qi Zhigao's point of view, if all of this was premeditated and not a fortuitous encounter, then it was really amazing. How scheming did he have to be to do such a thing? Haha, I know I'm right. Big brother, you've tacitly agreed. Don't worry, I won't say anything. You don't need to hint at me. Qi Zhigao crawled up from the ground and gave the car key to Xiao Chen. Big brother, how can you not have a car if you're so awesome? You can have my car. No, I have a few. Chen Jinping gave them to me, Xiao Chen said. Oh, I understand. Keep a low profile. Big brother is keeping a low profile now, so I'm leaving. If you need anything, just call me. I'm definitely your best lackey. Qi Zhigao said. Xiao Chen nodded and motioned that Qi Zhigao could go. This guy could still be trusted. After all, he really wanted to pursue Xiao Xiao. In that case, he would definitely not do anything bad to the Xiao family. Especially when he thought that Xiao Chen was acting with the Xiao family. There was no reason for him to expose him. After Qi Zhigao left, Xiao Chen walked into the classroom. After a while, Zheng Xiaoquan came. He saw Xiao Chen but did not see Tang Tang. He could not help but be a little worried. Xiao Chen, why hasn't Tang Tang come yet? Did something happen to her? No, she should wake up today, right? Xiao Chen said. Elder Heaven Ancestor should not be wrong. Xiao Chen was still very convinced of Elder Heaven Ancestor's judgment. Okay. Zheng Xiaoquan knew that it was useless to worry, so he could only nod and wait patiently. After Xiao Chen transferred here, he suddenly found that his relationship with Tang Tang was a little estranged. On the contrary, Xiao Chen was getting closer and closer to Tang Tang. However, he was not jealous because he knew that it was impossible for him and Tang Tang. If Xiao Chen could treat Tang Tang sincerely, he would be very happy, although it would be a little sad. Xiao Chen was right. In fact, Tang Tang woke up as soon as Xiao Chen left in the morning. But after waking up, she got up in a daze and rushed to the toilet. She only felt that her stomach seemed to be about to erupt. After entering the bathroom, Tang Tang couldn't come out. Tang Tang was a little confused. She didn't seem to have such diarrhea before, and it didn't stop. Fortunately, it was water, otherwise it would come out. But what's wrong with me? In a daze, Tang Tang felt that she seemed to be going to school before. And then she didn't know anything. Was it a dream before? Now that she thought about it, it should be so. Otherwise, why would she wake up at home? Tang Tang sat in the toilet. Time passed by, but her stomach didn't have the slightest intention of stopping. 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Tang Tang was a little anxious. She looked up at the wall clock in the bathroom, and it was already more than 6 o'clock. She didn't go to the morning market to set up the stall, but she was going to be late for school. Finally, at 7 o'clock, Tang Tang finished the battle. But she touched her body, and it was also sticky. She didn't know what black stuff seeped out. Could it be that she splashed when she went to the toilet? But it couldn't be. Anyway, Tang Tang had no choice but to turn on the shower head in the bathroom and quickly rinsed herself. She rinsed the body twice and finally washed off the mud on her body. Tang Tang quickly wiped her body, ran out, put on her clothes in the bedroom, picked up her school bag and rushed to school. Why does it seem that the clothes on my body are a little bigger? Did it become bigger after taking a bath? Other clothes were shrinking, but this one was actually soaked big. It seemed that the cheap clothes bought in the morning market didn't work. But Tang Tang didn't want to go home to change. It was good to wear loose casual clothes. Tang Tang glanced at her watch. She was going to be late. Not only was she going to be late, but she also glanced at the date. She was actually on duty today. Tang Tang vaguely remembered that it seemed that there were still a few days before her turn on duty. But how could it be so fast? Was she dreaming again? Was she in a daze? Tang Tang trotted all the way to school. She used to walk to school. But today when she saw a bus, she directly squeezed onto it and went in the direction of school. What made Tang Tang a little confused was that it was not easy to squeeze onto the bus with her fat body in the past. But today, she actually got on the bus with a whoosh. And in the bus, there was a man with a wretched look staring at Tang Tang. "Look at your head. Haven't you seen a fat girl before?" Tang Tang glared at the wretched man. Huh? The wretched man was stunned and shook his head in amazement, as if he had heard something very incredible. Tang Tang didn't have the mood to care about him. She got off the bus and rushed to the school and the class. At this time, there were 2 minutes left before the first class. Tang Tang quickly ran to the podium. She didn't even have time to put her school bag back in the seat. She picked up the blackboard eraser and began to wipe the blackboard. The math teacher walked into the class and was about to start the class. Seeing Tang Tang was still wiping the blackboard, she was just about to ask why she was on duty so late. What did she do before? But before she could speak, she was stunned. Who is this little girl? Did she go to the wrong class? Why have I never seen her before? Classmate, did you go to the wrong class? The math teacher looked at Tang Tang with some confusion. She looked left and right, but she didn't know her. She looked a little familiar. But the teacher had taught countless people in her life, so it was normal to see everyone a little familiar. Wrong class. Miss Chen, don't you know me? Tang Tang looked at the math teacher with some confusion. This is the 3rd grade class. Although I'm Miss Chen, but are you in this class? Miss Chen looked at Tang Tang with some confusion. I am, Tang Tang said in her heart. Did Miss Chen lose her memory? Are you a new transfer student? Miss Chen thought of a possibility, but it was a little strange that a transfer student knew her on the first day of school. Miss Chen, I am Tang Tang. Tang Tang said with some depression. Tang Tang. Miss Chen looked at Tang Tang in front of her in astonishment. You said you are Tang Tang? Don't joke, classmate. This joke is not funny at all. Which class are you in? Hurry up and go back. I'll take it as a joke. Otherwise, if I report it to the school, you will be punished. Report it to the school? Give me punishment? Miss Chen, don't joke around. I'm really Tang Tang. Tang Tang really didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How come Miss Chen didn't know me? In fact, not only Miss Chen, when Tang Tang entered the class, the students in the class were also a little puzzled. Why did a super beautiful girl suddenly come in? She was almost on par with the goddess Cheng Minjing. The students were stunned. Was she a transfer student? Then they would be happy in the future. They didn't know what her family background was. Could they catch up with her? Cheng Minjing was arrogant and cold every day. They knew that they could not catch up with her. Moreover, she was Lu Jinming's girl. Who was Lu Jinming? He was a gangster. Who dared to provoke him? But Tang Tang's appearance made the other boys' minds active. Students, you all know Tang Tang, right? Then, do you think the person on the podium is Tang Tang? Do you know her? Seeing Tang Tang's expression, Miss Chun was a little depressed. Why didn't this student give up until she jumped into the Yellow River? There should be a limit to jokes, right? Tang Tang was a student in this class. The students in this class should know her. In this case, she simply didn't say it. She didn't argue with her. She directly let the students say whether the student on the podium was Tang Tang or not. Miss Chun was really puzzled. Why did a beautiful girl pretend to be Tang Tang? Tang Tang was much uglier than her. No. The students under the stage almost said in unison. How could it be Tang Tang? Tang Tang and she were completely different people. Chapter 255. Moreover, some bold ones such as Skinny Monkey even whistled. Beauty, are you a transfer student? Can I pursue you? Of course, when everyone was making a fuss, only one person was stunned at the moment. Xiaochen was very puzzled. Tang Tang's cousin. Why did she suddenly come to the class to join in the fun? The person in front of him was the same as the cousin's photo Xiaochen saw in Tang Tang's home. She was very beautiful, but why did Xiaochen feel that she was silly? What a waste of her appearance. Even if she pretended to be Tang Tang, people would still believe her. She was exposed, but she still didn't repent, and kept saying that she was Tang Tang. Was she here to be funny? Skinny monkey, are you looking for death? How dare you flirt with your sister Tang? Tang Tang glared at the direction of Skinny Monkey, and then said to Lu Zhenming, Lu Zhenming, control your little brother. Huh. Lu Zhenming was stunned. This beautiful girl was quite familiar with him. Her tone and voice were a bit like Tang Tang, but she was clearly not Tang Tang. Hey, don't make trouble. You go out, I have to go to class. Teacher Chen said helplessly. Tang Tang was about to collapse. What the hell was going on? When she woke up, it seemed that everyone around her didn't know her. Was it really like what those horror novels said? When she woke up, everyone around her was still there, but she had traveled through time, and traveled to a parallel world, where there was also a Tang Tang, but it was not her. Xiao Chen, others may not know me, but don't you know me? Tang Tang didn't care about Teacher Chen anymore. She quickly ran to Xiao Chen, stared at Xiao Chen, and said, Look who I am. Aren't you Tang Tang's cousin? Xiao Chen said weakly. Others may not know you, but I definitely know you. I have seen your photo in Tang Tang's home. Did she tell you? I am Tang Tang. Tang Tang was a little anxious. What cousin? Where did I come from? Xiao Chen stopped joking. Tang Tang was so anxious that she didn't remember that she had lied to Xiao Chen's cousin before. She just wanted to prove that she was Tang Tang. Tang Tang doesn't look like this. Xiao Chen took out his mobile phone, opened a photo of himself in Tang Tang, and handed it to Tang Tang's cousin in front of him. Look, this is Tang Tang. It's me, Tang Tang said anxiously. Xiao Chen was really speechless. He had wanted to pursue Tang Tang's cousin before. It turned out that the person in front of him was not very smart. Take a selfie and see what you look like. Do you look like this? Tang Tang picked up the phone with some doubts. She opened the camera and turned on the front camera. She was a little shocked at first glance. She widened her eyes and looked at the character in the phone incredulously. This. Aha. Tang Tang screamed in fear. Of course, fear was one thing, but there was also excitement in his voice. I actually lost weight. Did I turn back into my 16-year-old self? What was going on? Am I dreaming? However, that was clearly not the case. How could there be such a realistic dream? Furthermore, he had gone to the toilet for several hours. Since Tang Tang became fat, although she still looked very cheerful, she rarely went to the mirror, especially in her home. There was no mirror. After all, girls cared about their appearance. This morning Tang Tang was in a daze. She hadn't eaten for days and went to the toilet for so long. Her stomach was already empty, so she didn't notice the changes in her body. But now she suddenly thought about it. What was it that she had excreted in the morning? Basically, it was excreting nonstop for 2 to 3 hours. How much waste was there? What is left? Her clothes might not have shrunk, but she had become thinner. That was also why it was easier for her to get on the bus. The perverted man looked at her lecherously. And it was also because she had turned into her previous self. Did I change back? Did he really change back? Tang Tang was so excited. In fact, she had always dreamed of changing back, but she thought it was impossible before. But suddenly it became a reality. Tang Tang felt so happy. Looking at Tang Tang's crazy look, Xiao Chen was a little dumbfounded. The whole class was also a little dumbfounded. Teacher Chen smiled bitterly and thought, is this person a psychopath? AI, she is so beautiful. What a pity. You cousin Tang Tang, what are you doing? Xiao Chen looked at the happy Tang Tang and asked. Xiao Chen, I'm Tang Tang. Tang Tang pointed to herself. You don't even know me? Did you forget that we went to the morning market to sell fried dough sticks every day? Did you forget that I was sick, and you went to my house to take care of me? Did you forget that I have to introduce my cousin to you? I didn't forget, but... When Xiao Chen said this, he was slightly surprised. Previously, he only noticed the appearance of the beautiful girl in front of him. At this moment, listening to her voice carefully, it seemed to be Tang Tang's. Others might not be able to judge it, but the 6 senses of a cultivator were quite sharp. This voice should be Tang Tang's. Xiao Chen looked at Tang Tang carefully again. Although the person in front of him was much more beautiful, she still vaguely looked like Tang Tang. Are you really Tang Tang? Xiao Chen asked with uncertainty. Of course. Tang Tang nodded. Why would I lie to you? Let me show you my ID card. As Tang Tang said this, she took out her ID card from her wallet and handed it to Xiao Chen. This was her previous photo, but she rarely used her ID card in school. Otherwise, people would be surprised. Puff. Xiao Chen glanced at Tang Tang's ID card and finally confirmed that the person in front of him was Tang Tang. But he didn't know why Tang Tang lost weight. Are you your cousin? Tang Tang nodded with some embarrassment. Xiao Chen's heart jumped for no reason. If Tang Tang was her cousin, then what did Tang Tang's words mean that day? Even if Xiao Chen was not very sensitive to emotional matters, he roughly understood Tang Tang's mind. As for why Tang Tang was so thin, Xiao Chen thought that maybe it was because of his potion. Before, under Tang Tang's skin, wasn't it already swollen? It was estimated that it was the venom made of toxins. After the venom was discharged, Tang Tang naturally returned to her original appearance. Xiao Chen really didn't expect that his potion could also have the effect of losing weight. However, he was afraid that this was only applicable to Tang Tang. If it were other fat people who didn't become fat because of poison, it would be impossible to solve the problem. Well, Tang Tang, you scared me to death. Xiao Chen breathed a sigh of relief and nodded. Then he said, Teacher Chen, this person is Tang Tang. I have confirmed that she was sick before and lost weight. She used to look like this. If you don't believe me, you can look at her ID card photo. Oh, Teacher Chen was also very surprised after listening. She came over and looked at Tang Tang's ID card. Sure enough, she confirmed that this person was really Tang Tang. She suddenly felt a little embarrassed. I'm sorry, Tang Tang. I thought you were a fake. It doesn't matter. I was shocked myself. Tang Tang shook her head with a smile and sat next to Xiao Chen. This time, the students in the class began to be shocked. Is this person really Tang Tang? Oh my god, Tang Tang is so beautiful. Although everyone heard that Tang Tang used to be very beautiful and was a campus belle. That was in junior high school. After the senior high school redivided the classes, few people knew Tang Tang. However, they still heard the legend, but it was just a legend. Now that they saw such a beautiful Tang Tang, they were dumbfounded. It turned out that the legend was true. These people were a little regretful. Why didn't they pursue Tang Tang earlier? Alas, it was said that every fat person was a potential stock. This was not wrong at all. Although Tang Tang was a fat woman, she was also a fat person. Thinking about it, if Tang Tang was not beautiful before, would Yu Xiaochuan like Tang Tang? What was Yu Xiaochuan's identity? It was really too late to regret. Now, it seemed that the person who had the best relationship with Tang Tang was Xiao Chen. Perhaps Xiao Chen would be the first to get the benefits. At this moment, Zhang Xiaoquan also turned around and looked at Tang Tang in disbelief. He had always liked Tang Tang, and at this moment, he was even more shocked. However, he also knew that the distance between him and Tang Tang was getting farther and farther. Now, not to mention him, even Xiao Chen might not be able to catch up with Tang Tang. It was not that Tang Tang would change, but Yu Xiaochuan. Zhang Xiaoquan looked further. The engagement between Tang Tang and Yu Xiaochuan had not been officially dissolved. In the end, if Yu Xiaochuan went back on his word, then he and Xiao Chen would have no chance. After all, Yu Xiaochuan was the real fiancé of Tang Tang. Well, don't be surprised. Tang Tang just lost a little weight. Let's start the class. Although Teacher Chen was also shocked about Tang Tang, the main task at the moment was to teach the class. She did not want to delay the teaching because of this matter. Then the students gathered their thoughts and prepared for the class. The thin monkey-like guy curled his lips with some regret. Young Master Ming, it's really a pity. Xiao Chen got lucky. Do you think Yu Xiaochuan is a decoration? Maybe Yu Xiaochuan will take it back. Lu Zhenming shook his head. I just don't know if Xiao Chen has used it. It will be fun if he gives Yu Xiaochuan a second-hand one. Ha 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 ha, it's true. Yu Xiaochuan is not a good guy. Last time, he cheated young Master Ming. The thin monkey-like guy said. Forget it. It's not his fault for the broken bowl. Lu Zhenming said. Damn it. What I'm most worried about is that Tang Tang has been taken away. What if Xiao Chun goes back to chase Cheng Minjing? Then my chance will be small. Isn't there still Jean Bebe? The thin monkey-like guy said. Isn't Jean Bebe on good terms with Xiao Chun? Chapter 256. Who knows? Lu Zhiming nodded. Let's hope that he will continue chasing after Jean Bebe. Don't get any ideas about Cheng Minjing. Otherwise, he will be stealing what he is guarding. Only if Cheng Minjing dumps him. The slim monkey-like man, however, said in disdain. He is just an insignificant servant. A bullsh *t. How could Miss Cheng like him? It's absolutely impossible. You do have a point. Xiao Chun was her fiancé before. Nothing happened between them, and there were no sparks between them. It is even more unlikely that Xiao Chun became a servant. Thinking of that, Lu Zhiming was relieved. On the other side, Xiao Chun asked in confusion. Tang Tang, did you go to the toilet for hours this morning? Yes. How did you know? Tang Tang asked, somewhat embarrassed. Because I gave you a detoxification pill before. Xiao Chun knew that even if Tang Tang did not ask now, she would certainly ask after she thought it through. Yu Xiaochuan might not necessarily keep such a thing a secret. Therefore, Xiao Chun simply told her in case Tang Tang grew suspicious later. Huh? A detoxification pill? Tang Tang was dazed. What happened to me? You fainted on your way to school. As he spoke, Xiao Chun told her about how Tang Tang fainted and was sent to the hospital for examination. Then he said, as it happens, I have a detoxification pill that my father left for me. I was reluctant to take it, so I gave it to you. I didn't expect that it would really work. Ha! You gave me such a precious thing to eat. Isn't it for you to train your internal force? Tang Tang was touched and somewhat regretful. You gave it to me, but what about yourself? I'll figure out another way. After all, I may not be able to train my internal force even if I take it. Xiao Chun smiled casually. As long as you are fine. It seems that all the toxins in your body have been expelled. Yes, I feel so refreshed. No wonder I seemed to be in a daze before. It turned out that I was in a coma for 3 days. Tang Tang said, thank you so much. There's no need to thank me. We're brothers. Xiao Chun suddenly realized that when he said the word buddy, he felt a little uncomfortable. Was it just a buddy? Xiao Chun admitted that he didn't want to be a buddy anymore. Yeah, haha. Then I won't stand on ceremony. Tang Tang laughed. By the way, now that you've returned to your previous appearance, are you going back to the Tang family? In fact, that was what Xiao Chun was most reluctant to part with. If Tang Tang recovered, how could the Tang family remain indifferent? In the past, the Tang family thought that Tang Tang was a disgrace to the family. She was laughed at, broken off the engagement and abandoned. But now, such a beautiful lady. Even if she didn't marry into the Yu clan, she could still marry into other aristocratic families in exchange for a lot of benefits and resources. Would the Tang clan let her go? Xiao Chun didn't think so. I'm not going back. Tang Tang said. I'm living a good life now. Why should I go back? I don't care about those vanity things. Xiao Chun smiled. But he didn't say that sometimes, it was not up to him to decide whether to go back or not. Just like when they were driven out of the family, it was not up to them to decide. But Xiao Chun didn't want to say that to hurt Tang Tang. After all, Tang Tang was in a good mood. If he said that, she might not be happy to return to her previous appearance. In fact, in the class, Miss Tang was the most troubled one. Jean Bebe said to Cheng Minjing, cousin, bad news. Cousin-in-law is in danger this time. He's going to be taken away. What will he be taken away from? Cheng Minjing wrinkled her nose and snorted. Jean Bebe said with a strong sense of crisis, Tang Tang. Tang Tang has become prettier. She's as pretty as you, cousin. Besides, she's obviously interested in cousin-in-law. It's only a matter of time before cousin-in-law is taken away. He likes Xin Jingxian, doesn't he? Isn't Tang Tang his buddy? Although Cheng Minjing said that, she had to admit that Tang Tang's chances had increased. But what did that have to do with her? Xiao Chun wasn't her fiancé. It had nothing to do with her who he was with. He could be with whoever he wanted. Alas, how can there be so many buddies? I'm his sister-in-law. What's going to happen has to happen, Jean Bebe said. Ahem, why are you meddling? Chung Minjing glared at Jean Bebe. Then what do you think we should do? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm just worried that his relationship with Tang Tang will affect his job as a servant. Hee hee, weren't you trying to please me in the beginning? I'm going to stop you from dating. I'm going to stir up everyone I see. I'm going to show you who's the real fiancé and who's the real lady. That's right. It's definitely going to affect him. Jean Bebe nodded. So, Cousin Minjing, you have to show your charm too. For example, play some SM games with cousin-in-law so that he'll be able to stay. Pooh, get lost. Chung Minjing said angrily. It was all meaningless tricks. What Bebe said is the truth. If it weren't for the fact that Bebe doesn't know how to play, I would have played with him too. As long as it's for Cousin Minjing's happiness, I'm willing to sacrifice myself to pave the way. Jean Bebe said pitifully. Are you doing this for me or for yourself? I don't need him. I don't want him even though he's my fiancé, much less a lowly servant. Chung Minjing said. Fine. Jean Bebe said. If you don't work hard when you're young, you'll only be sad when you're old. What nonsense are you talking about? Uneducated people are terrible. Chung Minjing kicked Jean Bebe. Yu Xiaochuan had no idea that his fiancé had gone through drastic changes yet. Right now, he was waiting for the result from Red Hair in excitement at home. In fact, Red Hair was anxious too. This was the first thing that he had done for Yu Xiaochuan. If he could do it well, there would be a lot of benefits in the future. By then he would be able to eat, drink, and have sex. A technician ran over excitedly with the test report and shouted at Red Hair. Brother F***CK. Brother F***CK. I've got the result. It was no wonder that he was so excited. Red Hair had said that whoever had the test result would be rewarded with 10,000 yuan. Although there were a lot of people doing the test, they all wanted to do more tests in order to make money. Therefore, the speed of the test was naturally higher. The technician was lucky enough to find a blood sample that matched the data that Red Hair required. Oh, let me take a look. Red Hair was immediately overjoyed. He didn't expect that there would be a blood sample that matched the requirement in the first batch of contestants. This was really a great thing. Okay. Here it is. This is the test report of that contestant. The technician handed the report in his hand to Red Hair. You did a good job. Go to my place to get the 10,000 yuan reward later. Red Hair nodded with satisfaction. He took the test report and couldn't help but be stunned. Hey, why is it her? Brother F***CK, what's wrong? Seeing Red Hair's sudden expression, the technician thought that there was something wrong with his report, and that it didn't meet the requirement. He suddenly felt a chill in his heart. Don't waste 10,000 yuan. It's okay. You can go ahead with your work. Red Hair waved his hand and said, the test must continue, but they could just pretend and end it hastily. They didn't need to do the test seriously. Therefore, Red Hair found his subordinate and told him to pass the message. He had to pretend. After all, if he stopped now, people would definitely be suspicious. Besides, Yu Xiaochuan didn't need the test fee. Kerlin, it's actually Kerlin? Red Hair looked at the report in his hand and was a little shocked. How could it be her? To be honest, this person gave Red Hair a headache. This was Xiao Chen's girl. If he touched her, he might attract trouble from Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen was fine, but the key was that his underlings were all lunatics. One was Zhu Yingxiong, and the other was Chen Jinping. One of them killed Lu Dianbiao, and the other robbed the Sun clan's medicinal herbs. Red Hair wasn't their match at all. If he provoked them, and they came to take revenge, what would he do? But thinking about it, his current backing was Yu Xiaochuan. Who was Yu Xiaochuan? He was the Yu clan's young master, and also the leader of the younger generation. Such an existence wasn't something that Chen Jinping and Zhu Yingxiong could compare to. Thinking about this, Red Hair calmed down and dialed Yu Xiaochuan's number. Red Hair, how is it? Any results? Yu Xiaochuan picked up the phone and asked anxiously. Yes, I found one. The blood sample's parameters meet the requirements. Red Hair hesitated for a moment. He didn't say the relationship between Kerlin and Xiao Chen. He planned to say it in person, He couldn't explain it clearly over the phone, and there were many people nearby. Oh, found it? That's great. After you shout you and heard it, he jumped 3 feet high and laughed. Wahahaha, the heavens are helping me. When will you bring her to see me? Young Master Kun, this can't be rushed. I have to talk to her first, and then prepare to see if she's willing to be first, and if she's willing to sleep with you. Red Hair said. That's fine. Threaten and bribe her. If that doesn't work, use force. You shout you and couldn't wait that long. Anyway, he was just looking for a tool to cultivate the chrysanthemum treasure book. He wasn't looking for a wife. He could do whatever he wanted. Force was fine too. Understood. Red Hair was overjoyed. It seemed like young Master Kun just wanted to play around, or achieve some kind of goal. That would be easy. Otherwise, persuading Lin would be a difficult task. Very quickly, the test was over. There weren't any tests after that. It was just a blood test. Following that, Red Hair announced, All right, everyone, wait for the news. Our committee will conduct a comprehensive evaluation of everyone's information. In a while, we will announce the first, second, and third prizes. Lin, you have a lot of hope. Red Hair was just hinting. Today, Red Hair had dressed up like a dog. His hair wasn't red but dyed back to black. He even wore a pair of glasses. He looked like an artistic person. Chapter 257. Although Lin Kuo felt that this redhead was somewhat familiar, she did not think too much about it. From the start, it was impossible for her to associate a street thug with the person in charge of the competition. The two were completely unrelated. If Redhead had the ability, he would have quit being a thug long ago and gone to extort a few $100s. However, Red Hair's words made Lin very excited. Was it possible for her? Did that mean that she could get an annual salary of $1 million by shooting a few commercials? If she only took back 100 or 300,000 yuan, it could only improve the life of the Lin family, but it couldn't change too much. At most, she could pay for her college tuition and living expenses, but the family still had to continue their hard work of selling noodles. However, if she got first place and got an endorsement contract with an annual salary of $1 million, then her parents could go back and rest. They wouldn't have to work so hard anymore. In the future, her tuition and living expenses would be paid. Thinking up to this point, Lin Kuo's breathing became hurried. This reaction was seen by Red Fur. He had purposely said those words just now to see Lin Kuo's reaction. He wanted to see how much Lin Kuo looked forward to first place. But from the looks of it, Lin should be looking forward to it. Thinking about how her family was short of money, her father was disabled, and her mother worked hard selling noodles every day, she should be able to agree to young Master Kun's request, right? Thinking of this, Red Hair's heart was at ease. The so-called judging was nothing more than stalling for time. If they were chosen all at once, it would be too fake. They had to drag it out for a few hours. Of course, it was up to Red Hair to decide who would be first, second, and third place. However, Red Hair didn't want to give them away so easily. There were a lot of beauties who came to the show. Although some of them looked very coquettish, Red Hair didn't care. He liked to play like this. He had decided that the second and third place would belong to whoever asked him to do the unspoken rules. Hence, when he left, he continued to hint. I'll go back to the opposite hotel, room 1818, to rest for a while. The judging will begin in the afternoon. With that said, Red Hair left. He left these contestants with his back view. 1818 was the hotel's top-notch presidential suite. It was also a very auspicious homonym. Red Hair used his official position for personal gain and enjoyed top-notch treatment. Of course, it was also to spend a pleasant afternoon and night with second and third rank. Whoever came first would be second place. Those who lined up later would only be third place. As for those who came later, there was no one who came later. Red Hair laid comfortably on the hotel's top-notch round bed. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. Red Hair jumped off the bed with a whoosh and went to open the door happily. Who is it? Waiter. The person outside said. F***CK. Red Hair was stunned. He opened the door unhappily and said impatiently, What's the matter? Hair. Brother Liu, I'm sorry, in order to let you open the door, I had to pretend to be a waiter. A cute girl with a sweet appearance looked at Redhead with her big sparkling eyes. Her eyes seemed to be electrifying. Coupled with her coquettish voice, Redhead's bones immediately softened. You are? Redhair's lower body suddenly reacted. I'm Xiaosu. I'm a contestant for the spokesperson competition. I heard that the first place has been decided internally. My heart hurts. Am I any worse than that Lin something? As he spoke, Xiaosu's entire body fell onto Redhead's body. Redhead almost pushed her down because of the surging waves. Cough cough. Come in and talk. Redhair let little Su in and closed the door. Xiaosu was even more daring this time. He squatted down and started to take off Redhead's pants. Oh, slow down. Redhair couldn't help but yell. It had to be said that Xiaosu's martial arts were top-notch. Redhair had seen countless women, although he had not met any of the best ones. Compared to those he had met before, this Xiaosu was quite amazing. Brother Lu, how is it? Can I get first place? Xiaosu leaned on Redhead's body and asked sweetly. First place? That's already decided. Why don't I give you second place? The red-haired guy was so excited, but he knew that he couldn't delay Yu Xiaochuan's business. If he really made Xiaosu first place, then Yu Xiaochuan would kill him. No way. Brother Lu, where am I bad? It's here and here. As he said that, Xiaosu took Redhead's hand and started to touch his body. This made Redhead feel refreshed again. That Kurlin is already decided. It's not easy to change it. There's an inside story here. Redhead said helplessly. It must be that Brother Lu thinks that the little b asterisk tch is good, but I'm not bad either. Xiaosu was anxious. He started to use all his skills to serve Redhead. Redhead was on cloud 9, and Xiaosu was still begging. Brother Lu, just let me be first place. Say okay. How about this? I promise to give you a chance. I'll get someone to do a blood test later. Redhead thought for a while and said helplessly. He was really defeated. Okay, but why do we still need to do a blood test? Didn't we just do it? I don't have those dirty diseases. Xiaosu said. Actually, first place is a cover. This time, my boss asked me to do it. The purpose is to find a blood type. I think it's for blood transfusion, but it needs to be kept a secret, so I organized this event to cover it up. Redhead didn't hide anything and said what he could. Anyway, Xiaosu was at least second place. She knew how she got second place, so she didn't dare to spread it. Hence, Redhead didn't need to hide anything. First place, that Kurlin is suitable. I'm going to give her to my boss tonight. To be honest, I didn't even touch her. If my boss dotes on her tonight, she'll be my sister-in-law in the future. Aya, she'll be your sister-in-law. Can you still do that? Xiaosu winked at Redhead. Okay. I'll get someone to come over. Redhead nodded. He was tempted. Then the blood tests after that were fake? Xiaosu wasn't stupid. He immediately thought of the key point. That's right. After Kurlin's results came out, the rest were all perfunctory. Redhead said. But to make you give up, I'll give you another chance. N. If you can't do it, second place is fine too. Hearing that there was an inside story, Xiaosu also knew that this couldn't be achieved by hard work alone. It depended on luck. Redhair immediately gave a call to the laboratory technician, who had examined Lin Kuer in the morning. This laboratory technician had received a 10,000 yuan reward. Naturally, after receiving the news, he very quickly came to Redhair's room, and also brought along the testing equipment and reagents. Brother Lu, I'm here. The lab worker said flatteringly. Give her a test to see if her blood is up to standard. Redhair nodded and pointed at Xiaosu. Okay. The lab worker quickly drew Xiaosu's blood and tested it. However, not long after, the lab worker's face showed a shocked expression. What's wrong? Is there something wrong? Redhead saw the lab worker's expression and asked. The technician raised his head and looked at Xiaosu, then at Redhead, and then at the messy results on the bed. His face showed a look of disbelief. And then he said, Brother Lu, this person's blood index is even higher than the previous person. According to the standard, this person is the most suitable. Oh, is that true? Redhead was stunned. He didn't expect Xiaosu to get it right by a fluke. His index was actually higher than Kurlin's? This really shocked Redhead. It's true. It's here. Brother Lu, you can take a look yourself. The lab worker pointed at the report in his hand and said, "As expected." Redhead nodded. He didn't know other medical things, but he specifically learned how to determine the index of a blood test. The goal was to do things well for Yu Xiaochuan. Xiaosu was also very surprised. She didn't expect herself to meet the criteria. Actually, when Redhead said he wanted to do a blood test, she was about to give up. Who knew that she really met the requirements? "Brother Lu, if there's nothing else, I'll leave?" The lab worker asked. "I'll give you 1,000 yuan for your hard work later." Redhead nodded. "Thank you, Brother Lu." The lab worker was overjoyed. He didn't expect to get 1,000 yuan for a trip. He thought he would work for free this time. After all, he already got 10,000 yuan previously. After the lab worker left, Xiaosu pestered Redhead again. "Brother Lu, this time, I can get first place, right?" Let me think. Redhead was thinking about how to tell Yu Xiaochuan. "Aya, what are you thinking about?" "I'm following your boss. I won't forget you," Xiaosu said and buried his head again. "Didn't I already meet the requirements?" Okay. Redhead felt refreshed and nodded immediately. Hence, half an hour later, Redhead called Yu Xiaochuan. "Redhead, how is it?" Yu Xiaochuan asked. "Xiaochuan, there's an accident." Redhead said. "Accident? What do you mean?" Yu Xiaochuan asked. "It's like this. According to the inspection, there's another contestant who meets the blood requirement," Redhead said. "Oh, there's another one? That's great. Just right. Get me these two people. It's fine if they're tied for first place. The prize will be 1 million plus 300,000 yuan. The two of them will split it half." Yu Xiaochuan was overjoyed. He couldn't find them if he didn't look for them. When he did, good things came in pairs. Two at once. Because Xiaosu was closer to Redhead, Xiaosu heard everything Yu Xiaochuan said on the phone clearly. Chapter 258. When Xiaosu heard that the first prize would be split in half, she was a little anxious. She didn't want another person to compete with her for attention. Moreover, the money had to be split in half, so she quickly pinched Red Hair. "Ah!" Red Hair screamed. "Red Hair, what's wrong?" Yu Xiaochuan was stunned and asked. "No, young Master Kun. I just want to say, why don't we just forget about Kerlin?" Red Hair said. "Forget about it? Why?" Yu Xiaochuan was a little puzzled. "I actually know Kerlin before. After thinking about it, I think it's better not to touch Kerlin." Red Hair said. "Don't touch Kerlin? Is she your friend?" Yu Xiaochuan asked. "No, she is Xiao Chen's woman." Xiao Chen Red Hair was about to say that Xiao Chen was nothing. But Xiao Chen's underling was very powerful, and he couldn't be provoked. But Yu Xiaochuan spoke first. "What? Xiao Chen's woman? Forget it, then let her get the second prize." Yu Xiaochuan said directly. He didn't want to offend Xiao Chen now. Xiao Chen still had to help him deal with Tang Tang. If he offended Xiao Chen, then it would be bad. If there was no substitute, then Yu Xiaochuan would accept it for the sake of cultivating the chrysanthemum book. If he touched Kerlin, then so be it. But now that there was another choice, why would he touch Kerlin? Wasn't there something wrong with that? Okay. Red Hair didn't expect Yu Xiaochuan to be so afraid of Xiao Chen. When he heard Xiao Chen's woman, he directly gave up, but he still said, "It's okay, young Master Kun. The second contestant's performance is better than Kerlin's." "Really? That's great. Have you talked to her? Is she willing to have the unspoken rules?" Yu Xiaochuan asked. "Young Master Kun, Brother Lu has already talked to her. She is on standby here, waiting for young Master Kun to have sex with her." Xiaosu said sweetly. "Oh, ha, that's great. Red Hair, send her over immediately." Yu Xiaochuan immediately instructed Red Hair, with the attitude of not delaying matters. "All right, young Master Kun, I'll be right there." Red Hair nodded his head hurriedly, but he was a little reluctant in his heart. One of his hands was pinching Xiaosu's body. After hanging up the phone, Xiaosu gave Red Hair a shove. "You idiot, he's already been promoted. How can he forget about you? Don't worry, since you're so powerful, they'll definitely come looking for you often." "That's good, haha." Red Hair laughed and said, "Let's do it again and I'll send you off." "Of course, there's no problem." Xiaosu started again. Yu Xiaochuan was overjoyed. He danced with joy at home. Yu Buchuan has appeared out of nowhere and will unite the pugilistic world for thousands of years. However, not long after, Yu Xiaochuan's phone rang. Hello. Yu Xiaochuan picked up the phone. Young Master Kun, I'm little Mo. This Xiao Mo was one of Yu Xiaochuan's underlings in school. He was also a child of a mid-level family, but he was not qualified to be one of the 9 great clans. Oh, little Mo, what's the matter? Yu Xiaochuan asked. Young Master Kun, your fiancé has changed. Little Mo said. Changed? What fiancé? Yu Xiaochuan was stunned. The news that he planned to be engaged to the woman from another province hadn't spread yet, and the matter hadn't been finalized yet. Logically speaking, little Mo shouldn't know. Tang Tang has changed. Little Mo said quickly. Tang Tang? Changed. What changed? When he heard that it was Tang Tang, Yu Xiaochuan lost interest. Her life and death had nothing to do with him. She became beautiful. Little Mo said. She became very beautiful, almost as beautiful as the campus belle, Cheng Minjing. Became beautiful? Almost as beautiful as Cheng Minjing? What's with your eyes? Yu Xiaochuan was a little stunned. How is this possible? It's true. She really became beautiful, almost as beautiful as when she was 16 years old. Little Mo said. Young Master Kun, now the school is in a sensation. Almost as beautiful as when she was 16 years old. Yu Xiaochuan suddenly opened his mouth. Yu Xiaochuan naturally knew what Tang Tang looked like when she was 16 years old. It couldn't be said that she was more beautiful than Cheng Minjing, but she wasn't inferior either. Otherwise, how could Yu Xiaochuan, a leader of the younger generation, fancy Tang Tang? Now listening to little Mo said that Tang Tang changed back, Yu Xiaochuan was a little shocked. Little Mo, are you kidding me? This joke is not funny at all. And today is not April Fool's Day. Young Master Kun, how would I dare to lie to you? Little Mo smiled bitterly. I will send you a picture, and you will know. Oh, okay. Yu Xiaochuan nodded. He waited for a moment, and his phone received a picture. Yu Xiaochuan clicked on it and suddenly widened his eyes. Isn't this Tang Tang? To be exact, it was the old Tang Tang. However, the old Tang Tang was wearing the loose school uniform of the second high school, appearing on the school playground, and looking at the school background. It should have been taken just now. Did Tang Tang really change back? Yu Xiaochuan took a deep breath. He couldn't believe it, but the picture was right in front of him. He decided to go back to school and verify it himself, to see if it was true. See, young Master Kun, I heard that Tang Tang became like this after a serious illness. Little Mo said. Okay, I will go to school now. Yu Xiaochuan said quickly. He was thinking, if Tang Tang really changed back, is there still a need for me to break off the engagement? In Yu Xiaochuan's opinion, what he pursued was nothing more than strength, power, and beauty. Strength, when he practiced the chrysanthemum treasure book, then he would have it, and by then, it would be possible for him to become the world's #1. Power. His first goal was to become the leader of the younger generation of the 9 aristocratic families. In the future, he would lead the Yu family to become the leader of the 9 aristocratic families, like the Cheng family, and then his next goal would be to become a giant family like the Shen family. Beauty. In Yu Xiaochuan's opinion, it was possible to increase the family's strength by marriage, but the marriage partner must be a beauty. He was a picky person. When Tang Tang became ugly, he would rather break off with the Tang family than marry her. But now, Tang Tang changed back. Yu Xiaochuan was a little tempted. In the past, he was very obsessed with Tang Tang. Tang Tang was his first love. Before Tang Tang, he had never really liked any girl. Although after Tang Tang, he had played with many women, but in his heart, he still had the impression of Tang Tang. He regretted not having the chance to push Tang Tang down, and the current Tang Tang made him no longer interested. However, Tang Tang changed back, and Yu Xiaochuan's heart was a little fanatical. Another key point was that he was not the only one who had the chrysanthemum treasure book. Old Master Tang, Tang Fangbai also had it. At that time, if the two of them were to stand on the opposite side, it would not be fun. Both of them were unparalleled, and in the end, both of them would be defeated. Therefore, Yu Xiaochuan had the possibility of turning back to her. Thinking of this, Yu Xiaochuan decided to go back and take a look. If Tang Tang really changed, then he would take her down no matter what. He hoped that Xiaochuan wouldn't make a move so early. If he had already pushed Tang Tang down, then Yu Xiaochuan would regret it. All the way to Ning Second Middle School, Yu Xiaochuan parked the car and saw that Qi Zhigao was driving Xiao Xiao to lunch. So he said, "Hello. Zhigao, are you going out for lunch?" "Oh yeah, young Master Kun." Although Qi Zhigao's address for Yu Xiaochuan didn't change, he was a little impatient in his heart. "Okay, then you go." Yu Xiaochuan was just casually greeting. He was concerned about Tang Tang's affairs, and he was too lazy to talk nonsense with this little brother. Qi Zhigao nodded and got in the car with Xiao Xiao. He cursed in his heart, damn, as if nothing happened. Where's the compensation for my car? Why is there no sign of him? Xiao Xiao, what do you want to eat? Qi Zhigao asked attentively. Anything. Xiao Xiao's mood wasn't very good these days. She heard that the Chung family wanted to unite with her family through marriage. The marriage partner was definitely not her elder brother. Now she was the only one left. However, Xiao Xiao didn't like Chung Mingxiang, so she was very annoyed. Xiao Xiao, what's wrong with you? Why are you unhappy? Who provoked you? I will help you beat him. Qi Zhigao patted his chest and said, Beat him, beat him, beat him. You only know how to beat him. What else can you do besides this? Xiao Xiao glared at Qi Zhigao. The Chung family came to my house to propose marriage. You beat him? Ugh. Chung family? Qi Zhigao was stunned. He went to your house. Is it about your elder brother? Did they go back on their word? This was Qi Zhigao's first thought. That was, the Chung family knew how powerful Xiao Chun was through Chung Minjing, so they wanted to go back on their word. Or the Chung family knew that it was just an act before. What? It's about me. It seems that Chung Mingqiang likes me. So he asked his grandfather to come to my house to propose marriage. Xiao Xiao said. Ah, what should I do? Don't agree with him. Qi Zhigao was shocked and said quickly. Don't agree. Don't agree. Aren't you powerful? Why don't you beat him up? Xiao Xiao snorted. Qi Zhigao, if you are a man and really capable, let the Qi family come to my house to propose marriage. Otherwise, don't come to me in the future. Okay, I'm getting off. Don't bother me. Qi Zhigao saw Xiao Xiao open the door and got off the car. He suddenly clenched his fists and slammed the steering wheel. Didn't he tell the Qi family about his own matters? But he was a person valued by the Qi family. His engagement wasn't up to him. Previously, when he was close to Xiao Xiao, the Xiao family still held an approving attitude. After all, he and Xiao Xiao were childhood sweethearts and grew up together. The Xiao family used to be one of the 4 major aristocratic families. Xiao Feng was the most likely person to break through that realm among the younger generation. If he broke through that realm, and was chosen by one of those people, his future would be limitless. That was also the most glorious time of the Xiao family. Even if there was a prodigal wastrel like Xiao Chun, the Xiao family was still the target of flattery. If the Qi family wanted to gain a foothold in Songming City, they must unite with an aristocratic family, and the Xiao family was the best candidate. Chapter 259. However, with the disappearance of Xiao Feng, Xiao Chun was a good-for-nothing. Even if he wasn't kicked out of the Xiao family, the Xiao family would be in a state of decline. It would be impossible for the Qi family to take a fancy to such a declining family. Therefore, the Qi family had ordered Qi Zhigao not to have any contact with Xiao Xiao, which made Qi Zhigao miserable. Thinking of Xiao Xiao's words, Qi Zhigao felt like a knife was being twisted in his heart. Qi Zhigao picked up his phone and dialed his grandfather's number. In the Qi family, only his grandfather's words carried enormous weight. Although his father was the acting head of the family, he still needed his grandfather to make decisions on important matters. Zhigao, what's the matter? Old Master Qi answered the phone quickly. Qi Zhigao was his favorite grandson, so every time he answered the phone, his voice was very kind. Grandpa, I've thought about it for a long time. I still like Xiao Xiao. I want to be with her. I can't live without her in this life. Qi Zhigao said what was in his heart. The haze in his heart finally broke out. Oh! Old Master Qi was silent. Although Old Master Qi didn't oppose Qi Zhigao's father's decision to keep Qi Zhigao away from Xiao Xiao, Qi Zhigao grew up with Old Master Qi. Old Master Qi knew Qi Zhigao's character very well. Once he had decided on something, not even 10 bulls could pull him back. No matter what you said, it was useless. Only by changing his own mind could he change it. But now it seemed that his mind hadn't changed. "Grandpa, I want to be with Xiao Xiao," Qi Zhigao said firmly. The Xiao family's current situation is like a declining sun. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that. Old Master Qi said, "I have some friendship with Xiao Yuanshan. But friendship is friendship, and the family's interest is family's interest. My friendship with him is far from enough for me to take the family's interest to help him. Moreover, our Qi family is in another city. Firstly, it's out of our reach. Secondly, there's no third generation in the Xiao family, which means there's no future. It's useless to help him. The decline of the Xiao family is already a foregone conclusion." Xiao family. Qi Zhigao wanted to say, "Grandpa, you're so wise. Can't you see the problem? The Xiao family has declined? What a joke. Look at him in another year. Look at Songning City, whose Songning City is." However, he had promised Xiao Chen to keep it a secret for him. Qi Zhigao was such a person. He wouldn't say what he had promised even if you beat him to death. "Grandpa, I still insist on my opinion," Qi Zhigao said. "Then, have you ever thought that if this is the case, you will have no fate with the position of successor to the young patriarch? The Xiao family won't be able to help you in the future. As for your cousin Ziyuan, he has a good relationship with Chen Xiaojiao of the Chen family recently. The Chen family is on the rise. Both of you will be 16 years old soon. The position of the young master will be selected at this time. You'd better think about it carefully. That slut of the Chen family?" Qi Zhigao felt disgusted. He had heard that Chen Jinping's sister, Chen Xiaojiao, was a woman who had sex with thousands of men. She had also slept with her brother. It was rumored that she had slept with 2 of Chen Jinping's bosses. Now, it seemed that she had slept with Chao Yuliang. But Xiao Chen, would Xiao Chen's brother like her? "Ziyuan knows that he is not as good as you. I don't like him as much as I like you. But he can find a way to make up for it. He is a ruthless person. He could accept Chen Xiaojiao just to get promoted. But you can give up the position of the young patriarch for Xiao Xiao." Old Master Qi sighed and said helplessly, Qi Zhigao was thinking, if I didn't know about Xiao Chen, would I still be so determined? Maybe I would. However, Xiao Chen's matter made him more confident. There was no one in the Xiao family who was mediocre. "Well, that's all I have to say. It's up to you to choose," Old Master Qi said. "If you want to give up, there is nothing I can do. Grandpa, I have decided. Can you help me propose to the Xiao family?" Qi Zhigao gritted his teeth and said, "Yes, I will contact the Xiao family when there is a suitable opportunity." Old Master Qi said, "Your matter can't be rushed. According to the rules of the Qi family, the marriage can be confirmed after the young patriarch is confirmed. This way, the benefits can be maximized. Although I am the old patriarch, your father was also like this." Okay. Qi Zhigao was actually a little worried that the Cheng family would get married before him. However, the rules of his family were like this. He was very happy that his grandpa agreed to this step. He thought, "Can I ask Xiao Chen for help?" After hanging up the phone, Old Master Qi sighed slightly. To be honest, he was also optimistic about the Xiao family in the past. However, the third generation of the Xiao family, Xiao Chen, was too weak. Xiao Chen was a rare genius in cultivation. Among all the girls in the aristocratic families, she was very powerful. However, her brother Xiao Chen was a loser. If he was not very sure that Xiao Chen was the biological son of the Xiao family, he would think that Xiao Chen was adopted. Otherwise, why would Xiao Xiao, who also had the blood of the Xiao family, be stronger than him? However, there was only one reason that Xiao Chen's blood had a problem. It was related to his mother, who had been missing since he was a child. It was a relatively taboo topic in the Xiao family. The Xiao family would not mention it to outsiders, and outsiders knew very little about it. To be honest, Old Master Qi was not very optimistic about Qi Ziyuan. The reason was that Qi Ziyuan was too cruel. In order to achieve his ambition, he would do anything. Chen Xiaojiao was such a bad girl, but he treated her like a treasure and planned to marry her to the Chen family. Old Master Qi was afraid that he would be too harsh to his brothers and sisters after he became the head of the family. However, Qi Zhigao's character was not very suitable to be the head of the family. He was too indecisive and emotional. Old Master Qi thought that if he could give up Xiao Xiao after careful consideration, he would pass the test. Although a head of the family should have feelings, when it came to the interests of the family, he had to give up personal interests. However, Qi Ziyuan was too ruthless. It would be great if the two could be combined. However, it was difficult to have both sides in the world. It all depended on Qi Zhigao and Qi Ziyuan's choice. During the lunch break, Yu Xiaochuan came to the classroom of grade 3-1, which was Tang Tang and Xiao Chen's classroom. When he saw Tang Tang, his eyes suddenly lit up. Little Mo didn't lie to him. Tang Tang had really returned to her old self. Mother **Ker. This Xiao Chen was really lucky. Yu Xiaochuan was still hesitating whether he should go back to her before he saw Tang Tang in person. But when he saw Tang Tang, he suddenly made up his mind. Tang Tang, you're here. Let's go out for lunch. Yu Xiaochuan walked to Tang Tang elegantly and invited her like a gentleman. Puffed. Yu Xiaochuan, is there a hole in your brain? Are you going to treat me to lunch? Tang Tang was dazed. Or are you going to treat me and Xiao Chen? Of course I'm treating you. Why would I invite an unrelated person? Yu Xiaochuan didn't seem to hear the doubt and sarcasm in Tang Tang's words. He just said to himself, I'm your fiancé. Do I need a reason to treat my fiancé to lunch? You? Fiancé? Me? Fiancé? Tang Tang's eyes widened. I say, Yu Xiaochuan, can you not be funny? Did you take the wrong medicine today? Did you give me to Xiao Chen? What's wrong with you today? Xiao Chen sat on the side, but he wasn't surprised like Tang Tang. Instead, he was shocked. Is Yu Xiaochuan going back on his words because Tang Tang has become beautiful? It seems that this must be the case. This made Xiao Chen a little uncomfortable. This Yu Xiaochuan is really shameless. How can he say something like fiancé? He gave me money to push Tang Tang down before. Did he forget it in the blink of an eye? This is instant memory loss. Haha, isn't that a joke? How can you believe a joke? The engagement between us is still there, and it hasn't been cancelled. You are my fiancé. This is an unchangeable fact. Yu Xiaochuan said lightly. I say, Yu Xiaochuan, what do you mean? Didn't you give Tang Tang to me? I've already pushed her down. And you still want to go back? Xiao Chen couldn't help but speak at this time. Ah, already pushed? Yu Xiaochuan's face changed slightly. He looked at Tang Tang up and down with uncertainty. After a while he said, Xiao Chen, you're lying to me, right? What do you think? Xiao Chen put his arm around Tang Tang's shoulder and held her in his arms. Tang Tang was a little shy, but she didn't struggle. Xiao Chen glanced at Yu Xiaochuan and said, I have to work hard for your money. By the way, when will my bonus be mine? Bonus? I'm joking. Yu Xiaochuan was so angry that his teeth itched. If Xiao Chen hugged the fat girl Tang Tang before, Yu Xiaochuan wouldn't be angry, but would be happy. But now. However, Yu Xiaochuan had seen many women and was a martial artist. Looking at Tang Tang's appearance, it didn't seem like she had been pushed, so he calmed down and said, Hee hee, I don't care about what happened before. I was joking. If you believe it, then it's not your fault. You can say that you are very stupid and naive. Now Tang Tang is going with me. Xiao Chen, you better not get involved. It's not good for you. Xiao Chen took a deep breath. He knew that in front of the two giants, the Tang family and the Yu family, he was insignificant. If the Tang family and the Yu family intended to reopen the marriage, then Xiao Chen couldn't do anything to stop them. At this moment, Xiao Chen wanted to kill Yu Xiaochuan and let him go home immediately. However, Xiao Chen finally held back. If he made a move at this moment, and Yu Xiaochuan died on the horse, then it would be different from the Sun family. After all, the Sun family was just a small family. Before he replaced the Xie family, it could only be regarded as a small family. However, the Yu family was different. If Yu Xiaochuan, the heir of the Yu family, died, then the Yu family would probably investigate in detail. At that time, he would be the first suspect. Chapter 260. When the Sun family's affairs were exposed, he would really die without a burial place. Therefore, it was not impossible to kill Yu Xiaochuan, but now was not a good time. Fortunately, Yu Xiaochuan and Tang Tang were only restoring their previous relationship. If Yu Xiaochuan wanted to do something and Tang Tang did not agree, Yu Xiaochuan probably could not do anything. This was the same as Chen Jinpeng and Xin Jingxian. As long as they were not married, they could not use force. After all, the woman's background was also very powerful. 100 million. Xiao Chen directly stretched out a finger and gestured in front of Yu Xiaochuan. Ha! Yu Xiaochuan's eyes widened, and he was suddenly shocked. Even though he looked like a gentleman, he could not help but curse at this moment. Xiao Chen, are you King crazy because of poverty? Why should I give you money? I have photos, Xiao Chen said lightly. Although I did not do it with her, I took a lot of photos of her. When the time comes, Yu Xiaochuan was so angry that his chest heaved. He wanted to slap Xiao Chen to death at this moment. He did not expect that Xiao Chen would make such a condition. Originally, he thought that Xiao Chen would be easy to deal with, but this guy was really difficult. He looked at Tang Tang and saw her nodding embarrassedly. Yu Xiaochuan's heart was cold. In his opinion, Tang Tang would not joke with her reputation. This was related to Tang Tang's reputation. He was going crazy. Are you King crazy because of poverty? You dare to say anything? 100 million? Pull out the 9 families of Songning County and ask them one by one. How many of them could come up with 100 million in cash? And he was not the master of the Yu family. Even the master of the family, Master Yu, could not come up with 100 million directly. If you don't agree, then forget it. Then I will continue to be with Tang Tang. Xiao Chen said shamelessly. Okay, let me think about it. A ruthless glint flashed in Yu Xiaochuan's eyes. He definitely couldn't take out 100 million, at least not now. What he was thinking now was whether he could find someone to get rid of Xiao Chen. Or, even if he didn't kill Xiao Chen, he would destroy those photos from Xiao Chen's hands. Xiao Chen was now living at Cheng Minjing's place, so there was definitely no place to store those photos. It was probably in a camera or laptop in Xiao Chen's house. If he could smash those 2 things into pieces, then he would have nothing to worry about. Take your time to think about it. Xiao Chen also felt Yu Xiaochuan's ruthlessness, but he sneered in his heart. You'd better not have any crooked thoughts. Otherwise, I can only send you on your way in order to protect myself. Yu Xiaochuan left. Tang Tang's face was a little ugly. She sat in her seat, a little unhappy. She ate half of the boxed lunch and stopped eating. Now with Xiao Chen's financial foundation, they didn't have to eat steamed buns and pickles every day. Xiao Chen could buy some boxed lunches sold at a better school. Although the dishes inside were not as delicious as directly ordered in the cafeteria, the nutrition was also quite rich. You don't want to eat? Xiao Chen saw that Tang Tang still had a lot left. How can I be in the mood to eat? I didn't expect this guy to be such a scumbag. I just became a little more beautiful, and he jumped out. Tang Tang was a little depressed. Originally, she was very happy that she became beautiful. This was because she could confess to Xiao Chen boldly and logically. She no longer needed to use her identity as his cousin. But now, Yu Xiaochuan suddenly interfered, which made Tang Tang suddenly understand that her previous idea was just a fantasy. If she really changed back, would the Yu family and the Tang family let her go? Now, Tang Tang hoped that she could return to her previous appearance. It was better to be carefree. Although she and Xiao Chen were just buddies, at least, they could be happy together. Gay friends could also be very happy. It was just that the good days were coming to an end. Looking at Yu Xiaochuan's appearance, he didn't want to give up. Tang Tang knew that once the Tang family called, even if she refused, the Tang family might take coercive measures against her. You can't not eat. If you don't eat, I will. Xiao Chen took Tang Tang's boxed lunch and ate it. Puff. Tang Tang listened to the first half of Xiao Chen's words, and she was quite moved. The second half of the sentence, she couldn't help but be amused. You still have the mood to eat? If I am caught, I may not be able to go to the morning market with you to sell fried dough sticks. I know. Xiao Chen nodded. He wanted to say that if Tang Tang waited for him, he would snatch her back, but he couldn't say it. He and Tang Tang had always been buddies before. Although they hinted at each other, they didn't confess. Even if Xiao Chun wanted to snatch, what identity would he use to do it? Moreover, how could Xiao Chun snatch? If he was the young master of the Xiao family, he could compete with the Yu family, but now he wasn't. He could only rely on himself for everything. Don't ask him for so much money. I know you want him to give up, but I know you Xiao Chun better than you. He isn't a person who gives up easily. His persistence is beyond your imagination. I'm afraid he will do something bad to you. Tang Tang said. Let him be. It's not the first time I've been threatened. Xiao Chun didn't care. At worst, he would kill him secretly. It's all your fault, you broken pill. Now, Tang Tang sighed. Maybe, we won't see each other for many days. Xiao Chun nodded silently. He wanted to say something, but now all the promises were in vain. His strength hadn't reached it. Xiao Chun once again had a strong desire for strength. If he was now a cultivator at the 7th, 8th, or even 9th level of the Qi refinement stage, would Yu Xiaochuan dare to say no to him? He probably wouldn't even dare to fart. Rest assured, I'm not a vegetarian. It won't be so easy for Yu Xiaochuan to succeed. Xiao Chun said faintly. Tang Tang didn't say anything. Sometimes a person's strength was really insignificant in front of the family. Otherwise, she and Xiao Chun wouldn't be driven out of the family so easily. Cheng Minjing sat not far away. She didn't know whether she was happy or sad. Tang Tang was taken back by Yu Xiaochuan, and Xiao Chun could concentrate on being her servant. However, she didn't know why the young miss felt a little sad. Perhaps this was the first time that Xiao Chun fell in love? Although she heard that he liked Shen Jingxian and Ke Lim before, they didn't get together after all. Tang Tang was with him day and night. Although Xiao Chun said that Tang Tang was his buddy, the young miss didn't believe it. A woman's intuition was sometimes very sensitive. At least, Cheng Minjing felt that the relationship between the two was not like a simple buddy. There must be an ambiguous relationship. Bei, do you think Yu Xiaochuan will do something bad to Xiao Chun? Cheng Minjing also heard that Xiao Chun blackmailed Yu Xiaochuan for 100 million yuan, and she also noticed the murderous aura on Yu Xiaochuan. She couldn't help but ask worriedly. It can't be. My cousin-in-law is a transformer. Xiao Kun is no match for him, Jean Bei said. Ha 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 ha. I think Xiao Kun is going to be unlucky. You are still laughing. Xiao Chun wasn't so greedy before. He learned it from you. Cheng Minjing snorted. She had never seen Xiao Chun care so much about money before. Wherever he went, his first thought was to scam people. He was simply a copy of Jean Bei. I don't think so. My cousin-in-law and Bei are in love, Jean Bei said. What? Cheng Minjing's eyes widened. Well, we share the same interests, Jean Bei said. Cheng Minjing glared at her. Don't always say ambiguous words. If other people hear it, you won't be able to get married. Well, can I get married now? Jean Bei asked back. Cheng Minjing thought about it. It seemed that she really couldn't. Whoever dared to marry a little devil was simply courting death. Anyway, with my cousin-in-law's support, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Jean Bei, however, said matter-of-factly, therefore, cousin Minjing, you have to work hard. Otherwise, if my cousin-in-law runs away, I won't be able to protect him. After Yu Xiaochuan left, there was an evil fire in his chest that he couldn't vent, so he directly called Red Hair. Red Hair, where are you? Hurry up and bring me that girl. Yes. Red Fur was in a good mood, and was a little reluctant to leave. However, he had no choice. If he didn't let go, then what awaited him was death. Red Hair and Xiaosu quickly packed up, and went to Yu Xiaochuan's villa. At the entrance of the villa, Red Hair and Xiaosu both pretended to be serious, as if they had nothing to do with each other. It was because they both knew that if this matter was leaked, they would be in big trouble. Yu Xiaochuan walked over and glanced at Xiaosu. She was quite a flirtatious girl. He nodded and said to Red Hair, All right, I'll bring her upstairs first. Get my personal doctor here. Later, draw her blood and inject it into my body. There's a phone number on the coffee table. After that, Yu Xiaochuan put his arm around Xiaosu and went upstairs. Although Xiaosu had heard about the blood drawing, she didn't care at all. She already knew about it. Losing some blood in exchange for a huge contract worth more than $1 million a year was really a good deal. After a while, Xiaosu's super loud came from upstairs. Red Hair was tempted by it, but he didn't dare to act rashly. He only followed Yu Xiaochuan's instructions and contacted Yu Xiaochuan's personal doctor. Yu Xiaochuan was a person who paid great attention to maintaining his health. Hence, he and Xiaosu directly fought for 300 rounds. It wasn't until 3 hours later that the two of them came down from upstairs. Red Hair couldn't help but admire young Master Yu Xiaochuan in this aspect. In fact, this was also the reason why Yu Xiaochuan didn't want to castrate himself. If he was a perverted gentleman who indulged in excessive lust, then so be it. However, he was an impregnable man. Wouldn't it be a waste to castrate himself? Although Xiaosu was a bit flirtatious, in Yu Xiaochuan's eyes, she was only average. There were too many women that Yu Xiaochuan had played with who were better than her. Although the work was good, it was just SOSO. Hence, Yu Xiaochuan's mind was filled with Tang Tang. As a result, his hatred for Xiaochun grew even stronger. Chapter 261. Yu Xiaochuan cursed in his heart. Mother ***. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have caused this trouble. It would have been better to let Tang Tang run her own course. Now that Xiaochun and Tang Tang were together, it was unrealistic to ask him to leave. Young Master Kun, Dr. Yang has been waiting for a long time. Red Hair introduced to Xiaochun. Oh, okay, let's begin. Yu Xiaochuan nodded. According to the notes, blood transfusion was the most effective method after the fusion. Okay, young Master Kun. The private doctor already knew what to do from Red Hair's explanation. Although he was curious about what Yu Xiaochuan wanted to do, he still followed Red Hair's instructions. After all, he was just a private doctor, and Yu Xiaochuan was a martial artist. Maybe he had his own martial artist training method? Although drawing too much blood could cause harm to the body, as long as the amount was controlled each time, it would be fine. Previously, when they were upstairs, Yu Xiaochuan had also told Xiaosu that she might have to draw blood a few times, but her reward would be an endorsement contract of more than 5 years. 5 million in 5 years. Naturally, Xiaosu agreed without a second thought. Previously, she was just a peripheral girl. She usually did some peripheral business, and also had a part-time job as a small model. But with the speed at which she earned money, it was a pipe dream to think that she could earn 5 million in 5 years. Under the connection of the equipment, Xiaosu's blood began to slowly flow into Yu Xiaochuan's body. Yu Xiaochuan quickly followed the method in the notes and started to chant the incantation to fuse the blood into the body. In the next moment, Yu Xiaochuan felt extremely magical. It was as if the blood in his body was boiling at this moment. Xiaosu's blood and his blood began to fuse and become a brand new blood. This feeling made Yu Xiaochuan extremely comfortable, and he almost cried out. This was 100 times better than when he was upstairs, and there seemed to be some element in the blood that was rapidly being absorbed by him. The speed of the blood transfusion was very slow, because Yu Xiaochuan had to fully absorb it. So Yu Xiaochuan only completed the first blood transfusion in the evening. After the blood transfusion, Yu Xiaochuan felt full of energy, and his body condition was very good. It seemed that it was really effective. Yu Xiaochuan nodded his head and pointed at little Su with his thumb and middle finger. He said to Red Hair, "Help me get some good dishes for little Su to nourish himself tonight. I'm going to the Tang family to discuss some matters." After Yu Xiaochuan finished speaking, he went out and drove to the Tang family's house. Hong Mao was overjoyed. He could have an affair now. After sending off the private doctor, Red Hair carried Xiaosu into the guest room. Actually, the amount of blood that had been extracted from Xiaosu was not a lot. It was just about the same as the amount of blood donated. Therefore, he was just a little weak and did not seem to have any abnormalities. This was the third time Yu Xiaochuan had come to the Tang family's front door. The last 2 times Yu Xiaochuan came to the Tang family, he had to let the guard announce his arrival. However, this time, the guard politely and respectfully greeted Yu Xiaochuan. "Young Master Tang is here. Please come in." Old Master Tang said that you don't need to announce your arrival. You can go in directly to find him. After Yu Xiaochuan heard the guard's words, he was obviously stunned. What was going on? Why are you calling me young son-in-law again? Don't you need to inform me? But on the surface he still maintained his composure and said, Okay, then I'll go in directly. Sure enough, when Yu Xiaochuan walked in, the guard did not stop him. He still had a smile on his face. Obviously, what they said was true, and they were not lying. When Yu Xiaochuan came in, Tang Fongbai received a call from the guard. Although he was a little curious as to why Yu Xiaochuan was here today, he was still a little expectant when he thought that there might be news about the other bowl. Xiaochuan greets old Master Tang. Yu Xiaochuan came to the living room and bowed very politely. Well, Xiaochuan, I wonder why you're here today. Is it about the engagement with Tang Tang? When are you guys planning to get married? Tang Fongbai saw Yu Xiaochuan and said with a faint smile. He was using Tang Tang's engagement to pressure Yu Xiaochuan so that he could find the other bowl as soon as possible. Although Tang Fongbai also knew that it was not very realistic, it was always good to give Yu Xiaochuan a little pressure. In fact, it's not a big deal. Grandpa, I'm here to discuss with you when I'll get married to Tang Tang. Yu Xiaochuan nodded and said with a smile. What? Tang Fongbai's face suddenly became extremely shocked. He couldn't believe that Yu Xiaochuan would follow his words and said, Yu Xiaochuan, you said, you want to get married to Tang Tang? Is this true? In Tang Fongbai's view, Yu Xiaochuan would definitely find a way to find a bowl for him. But he did not expect that Yu Xiaochuan would directly agree. This made Tang Fongbai a little confused and didn't know what to say. Did Yu Xiaochuan deliberately say this to annoy me? Or did he start to give up because he couldn't find a bowl? Yes, Grandpa Tang, which day do you think is good? Tang Tang and I have known each other since childhood, and we are a good match. What do you think, Grandpa? Yu Xiaochuan said with a very sincere look. Yu Xiaochuan, let's not beat around the bush. Don't play tricks with me. Don't you want to break off the engagement with Tang Tang? Tang Fongbai frowned after listening. He knew Yu Xiaochuan's previous thoughts better than anyone else. Tang Fongbai didn't know what Yu Xiaochuan was doing today. Hee Grandpa Tang, you really know how to joke. My marriage with Tang Tang was discussed and decided by the Yu family and the Tang family together. How could I break off the engagement? Let's talk about when we will get married. Yu Xiaochuan said this with a smile as if it was really the matter. After listening to Yu Xiaochuan's inexplicable words, Tang Fongbai was very unhappy. He was about to speak, but at this time, a person from the Tang family walked in quickly. Tang Fongbai glanced at him and didn't stop him. This person was his trusted butler, and he had followed Tang Fongbai for decades. It was not easy for him to come in such a hurry. Old Zheng, what's the matter? Tang Fongbai asked. Old master, it's like this. Old Zheng whispered into Tang Fongbai's ear. Tang Fongbai's face suddenly changed, and then he revealed a look of realization. At this moment, he finally knew what Yu Xiaochuan was here for. Alright, Old Zheng, you can leave. Tang Fongbai waved his hand, and then with a lazy look, he looked at Yu Xiaochuan with a faint smile. I say, Yu Xiaochuan, your plan is quite good. When you saw that my granddaughter was ugly, you didn't want her. Now that she's beautiful, you want her again. Isn't that wrong? Grandpa Tang must be joking. Tang Tang has always been my fiancée. We haven't broken off the engagement, so why would I want her? Yu Xiaochuan's heart trembled. It seemed that Tang Fongbai already knew about Tang Tang's change. However, he was not in a hurry. Other than the restriction of the engagement, he still had other trump cards. Back then you wanted to separate, so we separated. Now, you want to use true love to coax me back. No way. Grandfather Tang scoffed. But you know what I like. I wonder if you found the other bowl. Hee. Yu Xiaochuan gave a faint smile. He suddenly reached out and grabbed Grandfather Tang's crotch. Ah! Grandfather Tang was shocked as he screamed and broke free. Yu Xiaochuan, what are you doing? You have no respect for your elders. What? I don't agree to your relationship with Tang Tang. Are you going to hit me because of your embarrassment? To think that you would resort to such a dirty move. To think that you are the leader of the younger generation, a true gentleman. Even after I grabbed you, Grandfather Tang is still fine. You really are a man of steel. Yu Xiaochuan looked at Grandfather Tang with a faint smile. Or could it be that Grandfather Tang doesn't even have that thing? Yu Xiaochuan, what do you mean by that? If you want to talk about this nonsense, then get lost. Tang Fangbai was furious. Nonsense. Indeed, Grandfather Tang, you don't have it. I wonder if you cut it off yourself or something. But that's not important anymore. You are already so old, and have so many children and grandchildren. You don't have any use for that thing anymore. If you cut it off, then so be it, Yu Xiaochuan said, minding his own business. Yu Xiaochuan, if there's nothing else, then get out. You are not welcome here. Tang Fangbai was furious. Fine, Grandfather Tang, I will be leaving now. You can stay at home and practice the chrysanthemum treasure book. I believe that as a branch of the Tang family of Sichuan, if others find out that you are an evil cultivator, ha 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 ha. Yu Xiaochuan said as he walked out. Stop right there. Grandfather Tang was shocked and immediately shouted, What is it, Grandfather Tang? Is there anything else? Didn't you tell me to get lost? Yu Xiaochuan said calmly, Get back here. Grandfather Tang took a deep breath and asked, What nonsense are you talking about? What chrysanthemum treasure book? What do you mean? What do I mean? I don't know either, Yu Xiaochuan said. But I won't be able to come back. I'm sorry, I've already left. These words were similar to what Grandfather Tang had said to him. Who would have thought that Yu Xiaochuan would directly respond? Yu Xiaochuan, sit down. Let's have a good talk. Grandfather Tang was now more or less certain that Yu Xiaochuan knew something. Perhaps he had already found the other bowl. Talk. Fine, you are my fiancé's grandfather. I can't not give you face, right? If you are an outsider, I will just leave, right? Yu Xiaochuan looked at Tang Fangbai and asked. Yes. Tang Fangbai's expression changed slightly. He knew that Yu Xiaochuan was threatening him, but he still nodded his head. He had no choice. Yu Xiaochuan had something on him. He could only calm down and ask, Yu Xiaochuan, how did you know about the chrysanthemum treasure book? Grandfather Tang, you haven't heard of it? If you don't want others to know about it, then don't do it. Yu Xiaochuan said calmly. He thought to himself, Old thing, I knew you would give in. Chapter 262. Oh, you found the other bowl? Yes, it is indeed the mantra of the chrysanthemum treasure book. I think you already know it. Tang Fangbai nodded his head. He didn't hide it anymore and spoke bluntly. He also knew that it was meaningless to say anything else. No, but I checked the half of the bowl that you asked me to take a picture of, Grandpa Tang. There are magic characters on it. It's the chrysanthemum treasure book. Yu Xiaochuan didn't beat around the bush anymore. Tang Fangbai nodded and said helplessly, Sure enough, I can't fool you. You still found out. But Yu Xiaochuan, don't tell me you also want to cultivate? Your purpose of coming here is not actually for Tang Tang, is it? It's just an excuse. Don't tell me your real intention lies in the bar? That's not it. I really came for Tang Tang. This is one of them. Yu Xiaochuan nodded and said, But I want to see the other half bowl. Or you can directly give me the translated content. So this is your purpose. Tang Fangbai's face was a little uncertain. He was thinking about the consequences of this matter. However, it seemed that he had to agree to Yu Xiaochuan's request. After all, Yu Xiaochuan had something on him. The Tang family and the Yu family were both branches of the wealthy, and there were also their own big families above them. These two families were at the same level as the Shun family. They belonged to the leading families of the righteous sections. If it was really revealed that Tang Fangbai cultivated the chrysanthemum treasure book, he was afraid that the Tang family would not need to trouble him. Of course, if the divine art was cultivated to a certain level, Tang Fangbai would not be afraid. Even if the Tang family knew, so what? At that time, it would be easy for him to be independent and establish the new Tang family. So Grandpa Tang, do you want to cooperate with me? Yu Xiaochuan said with a smile. If you also cultivate, then why are you with Tang Tang? Do you want Tang Tang to be a widow for the rest of her life? Tang Fangbai looked at Yu Xiaochuan and asked. Haha, of course, I will not castrate myself. That is stupid. Yu Xiaochuan laughed and then took out the notes he got. He shook it twice in front of Tang Fangbai and said, Do you want to see? Let's exchange. All right. Although he was a little annoyed that Yu Xiaochuan said that castrating oneself was an idiot, he had to admit that the notes in Yu Xiaochuan's hands attracted him. Tang Fangbai had already made his decision. It was not a loss to exchange half a bowl for the notes. Even if Yu Xiaochuan didn't take out the notes, Tang Fangbai would still have to compromise in the end. After all, he needed Yu Xiaochuan to keep it a secret. Now, it seemed that Yu Xiaochuan becoming his grandson-in-law was the best choice. Tang Fangbai took out the half bowl and the translated chrysanthemum treasure book. He placed them on the tea table in front of him and said, "It's all here. Everyone knows what kind of people you and I are. Let's take a look." "No problem." Yu Xiaochuan breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that Tang Fangbai had agreed to his proposal, and marrying Tang Tang had become a matter of course. Both of them sat down and quietly looked at the information provided by the other party. To be honest, Tang Fangbai was a little regretful, especially when he saw that he could succeed without castration. He regretted being a little too anxious. If he had waited for Yu Xiaochuan, he wouldn't have had to castrate himself. Although at his age, the Tang family didn't need him to carry on the family line, he still kept that thing and occasionally found a model. Although it was for the sake of strength, it was better not to lose it if it was not necessary. "Have you found the Lady of Mysterious Een?" Tang Fangbai was a little surprised. He suddenly remembered the talent show that the Yu family made these days. "Past the talent show? Grandpa Tang is so smart." Yu Xiaochuan nodded and said, "I found it, but it's a pity that Grandpa Tang can't use it. Otherwise, I can lend it to Grandpa Tang when I'm done with it." Tang Fangbai began to regret again. "The other cultivation explanations are good. Can I make a copy?" Tang Fangbai asked. "Yes, same to you." Yu Xiaochuan also wanted to copy the mantra on the remaining half of the bowl. So, both of them took what they needed. After all this was done, Yu Xiaochuan left. The two of them now had a tacit understanding that they couldn't let anyone know that they were practicing the chrysanthemum treasure book. Otherwise, first, someone would rob it. Second, they were all from the famous sections. "As for Tang Tang's matter, just do as you said," Tang Fangbai said. "Thank you, Grandpa Tang." Yu Xiaochuan nodded and suddenly thought of an important thing. "By the way, Grandpa Tang, Xiao Chen said that he took pornographic photos of Tang Tang. What do you think about this? Solve the trouble you caused yourself. Didn't you ask Xiao Chen to pursue Tang Tang? Don't think that I don't know anything." Tang Fangbai snorted coldly. "Okay." Yu Xiaochuan was shocked. It seemed that he had to rely on himself. He couldn't count on Tang Fangbai. From the news that Tang Fangbai knew that Tang Tang had changed back, the Tang family also had informants in the second high school. So, he couldn't hide the fact that Xiao Chen's pursuit of Tang Tang was secretly instructed by him. Thinking of this, he was a little depressed. Xiao Chen was really greedy. He asked for 100 million yuan. Yu Xiaochuan planned to bargain with him. To Tang Tang and Xiao Chen's surprise, in the afternoon, someone from the Tang family sent a message to Tang Tang, telling her to pay attention to her image in the future. She was Yu Xiaochuan's fiancée. She shouldn't be ambiguous with Xiao Chen. That would be bad for her reputation, the reputation of the Tang family, and the Yu family. Tang Tang wanted to refute, but the person was just a servant who passed the message. It was completely useless for Tang Tang to argue with him. "I guess Yu Xiaochuan will start with my family." Tang Tang shrugged and said helplessly, "I guess the next step is to let me go back to the Tang family. I don't want to go back. I'll help you think of a way." In fact, Xiao Chen also knew that the only way he could think of was to delay the time. If the Tang family and the Yu family really wanted to get engaged, it could only be delayed for a while, but not for a lifetime. "Well," Tang Tang nodded and looked at Xiao Chen. She wanted to say, "Let's elope, okay?" But she didn't say it in the end. She and Xiao Chen had always been brothers. Although she vaguely felt that Xiao Chen might have a little idea about her, or a little idea about her cousin, neither of them pointed it out. She didn't point it out before, so now it was even more inappropriate to say anything. Moreover, Tang Tang was also afraid that if she said it, Xiao Chen would refuse, or he would not refuse to take care of her face, which would make things difficult for Xiao Chen. After all, In Tang Tang's view, the person Xiao Chun liked was always Cheng Minjing. No matter whether Xiao Chun admitted it or not, he worked as a servant for Cheng Minjing every day was enough to prove this point. Otherwise, with Xiao Chun's self-reliant income, he didn't have to look at Cheng Minjing's face at all. What's more, sometimes it was not possible to elope if one wanted to. Let's not talk about whether Xiao Chun could leave or not. Even if he left, the Yu family and the Tang family were not to be trifled with. Outside of Songning City, there was still the main family of the Yu family and the Tang family. If the Tang family and the Yu family asked the main family for help, then Tang Tang and Xiao Chun would really be unable to escape. Xiao Chun was also a little depressed. He didn't expect that a good thing would bring so many negative effects. He regretted detoxifying Tang Tang. But if he didn't detoxify, Tang Tang's life would be in danger. This was really a contradictory problem. Tomorrow, will you still come to the morning market to sell fried dough sticks? Tang Tang couldn't help but ask after school. Well, if you are here, I will be here, Xiao Chun said. Tang Tang nodded, and a happy smile appeared on her face. She knew that the days were numbered. Every day that passed was one day less. She would cherish these last days with Xiao Chun very much. In the afternoon, Tang Tang also thought it through. The children of aristocratic families were all like this. They were all marriage tools in the hands of the family. Tang Tang knew that she could not resist in any way. It was just like if Xiao Chun was not driven out of the Xiao family. Cheng Minjing could not resist marrying Xiao Chun in any case. The aristocratic families retained the old custom of valuing men over women. Men still had a choice, while women only had the fate of being chosen. Of course, there were exceptions, such as Jean Beibei. Of course, this was generally a special case. It was relatively rare. It was good to have such a person in an aristocratic family in a city. The two of them parted ways. Zheng Xiaoquan walked over silently, patted Xiao Chun's shoulder and sighed. Xiaoquan, why are you here? Xiao Chun was a little surprised. To be honest, child Xiao, I was optimistic that you and Tang Tang would be together, because your identity and background are similar. Both of you were abandoned by the family. But I didn't expect. Well, let's not talk about it. I don't have that fate. I didn't expect that you wouldn't either. Zheng Xiaoquan was a little unhappy. If Tang Tang likes you Xiaochuan, it would be fine. But she doesn't like him. We can't do anything about it, can we? Although Xiao Chun had some plans in his mind, he could not tell Zheng Xiaoquan. Yes, if you were to return to the Xiao family, it would be possible. But now, Zheng Xiaoquan was a little helpless. Forget it. I'm going back. After that, Zheng Xiaoquan left, leaving Xiao Chun looking at his back silently. To be honest, Zheng Xiaoquan was a good man. Xiao Chun had a good impression of him. He liked Tang Tang, but he didn't think about how to possess her. Instead, he wanted her to live a happy life. Xiao Chun knew that he couldn't do it. If he liked something, he would grab it. If someone stood in his way, he would fight to the death. Xiao Chun knew that he wasn't a kind person, and the way he acted was even more hedonistic. Therefore, even if the things he did were to be exposed, no one would think that it was inappropriate. After all, Xiao Chun had the same personality in the past. Shaking his head, Xiao Chun quickly ran toward the pharmacy. Today was the day to buy medicine again. Chapter 263. Xiao Chun felt that he was spending money like water. Fortunately, he had enough money for medicinal herbs. He just didn't know where to get spiritual jades, which seemed to be very rare. After walking for a while, a red Land Rover stopped beside Xiao Chun. Brother, get in the car. Xiao Chun turned his head and saw that it was Qi Zhigao. Are you crazy? How can you talk to me like that? Xiao Chun glared at him. There's no one here. Qi Zhigao was stunned and immediately reacted. Xiao Zhao's brother is useless. I heard that you're very powerful recently. Get in the car and let's talk. Xiao Chun got in the car. Although there was no one nearby, what if there was? With Qi Zhigao's realm, he couldn't detect anyone nearby. Be careful next time. Don't look for me if there's nothing. Text me if there's anything. Oh, okay, brother. Qi Zhigao nodded quickly. What's the matter? I'm busy, Xiao Chun said impatiently. Brother, it's like this. You have to help brother-in-law, Qi Zhigao said, and told Xiao Chun about the Chung family's marriage proposal, and his family's plan to let his brother Qi Zuan be the heir of the young master, because of Xiao Xiao. Oh, I can't help you with the first thing. You have to hurry up. Although I'm her brother, I can't interfere with who Xiao Xiao likes. Xiao Chun listened and said, Secondly, you don't have to worry about Chen Xiaojiao. The Chen family is finished. As for the Xiao family, you know. Yes, I know. The moment Big Brother reveals his identity, that's when the Xiao family will rise. The Chen family and the Chung family are all F***ers. Qi Zhigao nodded quickly. Chung Minjing is quite good. Xiao Chun was more protective of the young miss. Yes, sister-in-law is a good person. Qi Zhigao knew that he said something wrong. I'm talking about Chung Mingqiang, that idiot. He dares to steal my woman. Brother, kill him. Alright, you came looking for me just for this? Xiao Chun asked. Actually, it's about this matter. I don't have enough courage, so I'm trying to find some self-confidence from my big brother. Qi Zhigao was a little embarrassed. Xiao Chun was speechless. Alright, I'm leaving. Text me if you need anything. Brother, take care. I'm full of confidence now, said Qi Zhigao. Xiao Chun left and went to the pharmacy, only to see that Hong Zhu was not alone in the pharmacy. There was also a middle-aged old man with white hair and a youthful complexion. He was dressed in a medicinal robe and seemed to be a very powerful doctor or pharmacist. Walking into the pharmacy, Xiao Chun did not know the identity of this old man. He only said, I want the same prescription as last time. Little brother, you're here? Hong Zhu looked at Xiao Chun and blinked at him with her large, electrifying eyes. Big sister was just talking about you. I didn't expect you to show up. Me? Xiao Chun was slightly taken aback. That prescription, was it you who wanted it? The middle-aged old man next to Hong Zhu suddenly asked. Xiao Chun did not expect him to ask such a question. However, it seemed that since Hong Zhu had told this matter to this old man should be on the same side as Hong Zhu. Otherwise, Xiao Chun did not think that Hong Zhu would be so stupid as to tell anyone. Yes, Xiao Chun did not deny it. Are you a demonic cultivator? The old man asked again. More or less, Xiao Chun answered ambiguously. This prescription, did your sect give it to you or? The old man nodded and looked at Xiao Chun expectantly. I can't say, Xiao Chun said. Haha, it doesn't matter. The old man suddenly smiled and said, Little friend, can I grab a copy of this prescription of yours and take it back to study it? Xiao Chun was a little surprised to hear this old man's words. Although this prescription was his, Hong Zhu knew about it. If this old man wanted to study it, there was no need for him to tell Xiao Chun anything. He could have just secretly grabbed a copy and studied it. Why would he need to ask Xiao Chun? As if noticing Xiao Chun's surprise, the old man said, I, Lu Fangzhen, have always been open and aboveboard. Although I know about this prescription, it is yours. As a doctor, protecting one's privacy is a part of one's professional ethics. If you don't agree, I won't study it. Oh, as you wish. Xiao Chun was a little shocked. He did not expect this old man to be such an upright person. Since that was the case, Xiao Chun could not refuse. However, even if he took this prescription to study, he would not be able to find out anything. Okay, then I won't be polite. Lu Fangzhen nodded. However, I won't spread it, so you can rest assured. I just like to study prescriptions. Xiao Chun was stunned. He did not expect Lu Fangzhen to say that. In fact, he was not afraid of studying it. If he was afraid of being exposed, he would have gone to many pharmacies to buy it in batches. After all, the effect of this prescription had to be used in conjunction with the mental cultivation method. Moreover, there were very strict requirements for the time and temperature of the decoction. Any more or less would affect the effect. As for the treatment and detoxification, that was an additional effect. The dregs had to be used more than 3 times in order to treat the disease and detoxify it. If the dregs were used the first 3 times, the disease would worsen, and the worst case would be death. Therefore, Xiao Chun was not particularly worried. He was just a little curious about the identity of the old man in front of him. Could it be that he was similar to Grandpa Chen? That was Hong Yan's teacher. Was this Hong Zhu's teacher? Previously, Xiao Chen thought that Grandpa Chen was Hong Yan's biological grandfather, but the two had different surnames. Therefore, after thinking about it, Xiao Chen guessed that he was Hong Yan's teacher. It doesn't matter. Xiao Chen shook his head and said, "However, can you give me a discount for today's medicinal herbs?" "Then I will give you a medicinal herb." Lu Fengzhen smiled and said, "Of course, you can also choose to let me owe you a favor. If you think that the value of a favor is just a medicinal herb, then I will choose a medicinal herb," said Xiao Chen. Haha. Lu Fengzhen could not help but laugh after hearing this. Little Hongzhu, this Xiao Chen is really a bit interesting. But he is right. A favor from me, Lu Fengzhen, 3 million is too cheap. Then this medicinal herb will be given to you. You can owe me a favor first. Grandpa Lu, you have been fooled by him. Hongzhu curled her lips. 3 million is gone just like that. It won't be your medicinal herb anymore. Why are you so stingy? Lu Fengzhen shook his head helplessly. Xiao Chen was very puzzled. The relationship between these two was different from that between Hong Yan and Grandpa Chen. Hong Yan and Grandpa Chen were teacher and student, but Hongzhu and Lu Fengzhen were not very similar. Who is this Grandpa Lu? Xiao Chen looked at Hongzhu. Oh, he is a pharmacist at the headquarters of my family's pharmacy. He can also be considered my first teacher, Hongzhu said. You don't respect your teacher. Lu Fengzhen was so angry that he glared at him. Look at your sister. That old Chen's level is not as high as mine, but she still respects him. Then you can be my sister's teacher, Hongzhu said. Haha, I can't stand her obedient personality. Lu Fengzhen shook his head. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. They really are master and disciple, but they are a pair of clowns. Hongzhu grabbed the medicinal herbs. Xiao Chen was about to leave when Lu Fengzhen suddenly said, Chen Iotafor, Sun Rongjin, and Sun Rongqin were all killed by you? Xiao Chen's heart suddenly trembled. His footsteps paused, and he turned around with a somewhat unnatural expression. Grandpa Lu, what are you talking about? What do you mean I killed them? Xiao Chen was a little confused about the relationship between Lu Fengzhen and the Sun family. That medicine master Sun was also a pharmacist. Could this Lu Fengzhen be his teacher? If he was here for revenge, then he would be out of luck. Little Hongzhu has already told me, so you don't need to hide it. Although I am a pharmacist, I don't know the Sun family, and I have no relationship with medicine master Sun. The Warriors Market disqualified the Sun family as a supplier because of us, Lu Fengzhen said. Xiao Chen was a little surprised. It turned out that the Warriors Market disqualified the Sun family as a supplier because of Lu Fengzhen? However, the Warriors Market Square actually offended Alchemist Sun for Lu Fengzhen. Lu Fengzhen's rank and qualifications were probably much higher than Alchemist Sun's. Otherwise, the Warriors Market Square wouldn't have given him so much face. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen couldn't help but be moved. In the past, the Xiao family was very respectful to Medicine Master Sunday. At that time, Medicine Master Sun would not say much to him. He only snorted and didn't even bother to pay attention to Xiao Chen. But now, a powerful pharmacist who was even more powerful than Medicine Master Sun, who even the Warriors Market had to show respect to, was talking and laughing in front of Xiao Chen. Moreover, he even owed Xiao Chen a favor. This made Xiao Chen sigh. Life was really unpredictable. The Xie family's flattery, Medicine Master Lu's favor, and Jean Bei's friendship were things that Xiao Chen dared not think about in the past. If he had any of them, he would not be called a loser anymore. Everyone had their own role. Even if Xiao Chen could not cultivate, if he could get a powerful ally or helper for the Xiao family, no one would look down on him anymore. Not only would they not look down on him, but they would also be envious. But now the Xie family, which the Xiao family originally wanted to flatter, actually flattered Xiao Chen. So you don't have to worry. I'm on the same side as little Hongzhu, LV Fengzhen said. I'm very puzzled. How did you make them all die from horsewind? Did you drug them? No, I did something to his Shinshui acupoint. As for the specific method, I can't tell you. This time, Xiao Chen didn't hide it anymore. Anyway, the other party had already guessed it, so there was no point in hiding it. I see. LV Fengzhen nodded in understanding. Suddenly, his eyes became bright and full of expression. Something wrong with the Shunshui acupoint will indeed cause horsewind to break out. But you actually did something to the acupoints of a human body. I'm afraid your medical knowledge is not low, right? You are also a pharmacist, right? Xiaochen couldn't help but smile bitterly. What kind of pharmacist am I? The soul immortal in me looks down on pharmacists. Chapter 264. However, to say that he was a pharmacist, he could barely be counted as one. Anyway, a cultivator was omnipotent and awesome. You don't have to deny it. Tang Tang was cured by you, right? LV Fangzhen did not give Xiaochen a chance to explain, but continued to say, you bought the Tianqing grass to prescribe medicine for Tang Tang, right? As for the other medicinal materials, although I don't know where you bought them from, they should be leftovers from the medicinal materials you bought before. I understand that there are some useless medicinal materials in your prescription. After all, pharmacists don't want their prescriptions to be leaked. Xiaochen was a little speechless. He really didn't do anything. These medicinal materials were so expensive. Who had spare money to buy more? LV Fangzhen thought he was smart. However, Xiaochen did not refute and just said, did you investigate me? Of course, a devil cultivator suddenly appeared in Songning City, Little Hangzhou, and I naturally have to pay attention to it. LV Fangzhen did not deny it, and directly admitted it. His straightforwardness surprised Xiaochen. However, he also felt LV Fangzhen's straightforwardness. This person should not be so crooked. Sort of. Xiaochen nodded. Now I'm wondering who your master is to be able to teach such a powerful pharmacist at your age. You know, even I dare not say that I can cure Tang Tang. But you cured her, said LV Fangzhen. She hasn't been cured, but it's just a temporary solution. Xiaochen said. I know it's her physical problem. LV Fangzhen nodded. I mean no harm. Let's discuss it when we have time. There's no end to learning. Although you are powerful, there should be something about me that you don't understand. So why don't you think about it? On the side, Hangzhou was a little surprised. Although LV Fangzhen often behaved like an old urchin, he had a deep attainment on the path of pharmacist. Now that he said so, it showed that Xiaochen really had a lot of means. However, what made Hangzhou puzzled was that Xiaochen was a hedonistic son of the Xiao family. He had never left Songning City for more than a decade, and had always been a nameless hedonistic wastrel. It was only after he was kicked out of the Xiao family that he secretly revealed some strength that didn't match his original identity. This person had truly concealed himself too deeply. Hangzhou could not help but admire him. Moreover, Xiaochen's willpower was unprecedentedly strong. Hangzhou was truly becoming more and more interested in Xiaochen. However, after investigating 8 generations of Xiaochen's ancestors, other than the fact that Xiaochen's mother was of unknown origin and had disappeared when Xiaochen was very young, there was nothing special about Xiaochen's resume. He was completely a brainless, arrogant, and profligate son of a rich family. Oh, alright, we'll talk about it when we have time. Xiaochen took a deep breath. He was neither happy nor sad. He knew that although the road he was walking now seemed smooth, it was full of thorns. Tang Tang, Shun Jingxian. Xiaochen did not want to give up. However, to take them all into his room, let alone the current Xiaochen, even the previous Xiaochen could not do it. The Xiao family was not as powerful as the Shun family. Even if the Shun family was such a powerful existence, the children of the Shun family might not dare to say that they could let women of the same family serve with others. Xiaochen found that he really dared to think. In the past, when he had just been kicked out of the family, even when he had just become a cultivator, Xiaochen did not dare to think about these things. But now Xiaochen actually had such thoughts. He shook his head. Shun Jingxian was a little too far away. Even the current Tang Tang was not someone that the current Xiaochen could pursue. Now that his identity was exposed, even if he had LV Fangzhen's favor, the Xie family's flattery, and the Jin family's support, it might not be enough to make the Tang family and the Yu family submit. After all, Old Master Tang and Old Master Yu were not to be trifled with. Moreover, most of Xiaochen's current abilities were based on the unknown. The Xie family and LV Fengzhen treated him like this only because of the abilities that Xiao Chun had displayed. Once this ability was not enough to make others fear him, would they still treat him like this? Xiao Chun was not sure, and he did not dare to take the risk. There was still no news from his father, and the White Fox and the Warriors Guild did not have much interaction. It would be extremely difficult to investigate this matter. He could only wait for news from Xinjingxian. If I am not here, ask little Hongju to inform me, and I will appear, LV Fengzhen said. Why does it sound like Aladdin's magic lamp? Xiao Chun said. Haha, it's about time. I will be here in a whoosh, LV Fengzhen said. Xiao Chun felt that this person was a little crazy, so he left. After leaving the pharmacy, before Xiao Chun reached home, he received a call from Chen Jinping. Boss Xiao Chun, it's me Jinping, Chen Jinping said. A little shed. What's up? Xiao Chun guessed that there was an 80% chance that there was news about the spiritual jade. Sure enough, Chen Jinping said. Lin Chao has agreed to the bet with the ancient jade, and he has brought the ancient jade. So tomorrow afternoon, we will have a race at the Ma Liwan construction site. 2 wins out of 3, how about that? Of course, 3 wins out of 5 is fine as well, but it depends on boss Xiao Chun. Oh okay, let's talk about it then, Xiao Chun said faintly. If the ancient jade is not good, let alone 3, you won't even have 1. Haha, don't worry. I have brought a few pieces of ancient jade. I guarantee that you will be satisfied. Chen Jinping laughed. Okay, see you tomorrow, Xiao Chun agreed. By the way, do you want to invite Qing Minjing? Chen Jinping asked. This was requested by Chao Yuliang. Okay. Xiao Chun did not refuse. Even if he did not bring her, young mistress and Jean Bebe would come to join in the fun. Then I won't bother Xiao Chun. After getting a positive answer, Chen Jinping was relieved and relieved. When Xiao Chun returned to the villa, Jean Bebe was also there. Today was Friday, so Jean Bebe stayed here and did not need to go back at night. As soon as he entered the door, he heard Jean Bebe and Yi Xiaoya talking about something. Then, Yi Xiaoya went upstairs angrily, and Qing Minjing was in high spirits. Xiao Chun thought. It turns out that a proud woman can also be two-faced. If Jean Bebe does not come, perhaps Qing Minjing will suffer a loss. Xiao Chun, I want to eat delicious food with extra ingredients. You can make it for me, Qing Minjing said. Okay. Xiao Chun did not say anything. It was quite interesting to serve young mistress. In the past, Xiao Chun did not have the chance to cook for her even if he wanted to. Chao Yuliang must be jealous of him. Xiao Chun, why are you so spineless? Yi Xiaoya could not help but mock when she heard the conversation between Qing Minjing and Xiao Chun halfway up the stairs. Yi Xiaoya, why are you so meddlesome? Jean Bebe said. Yi Xiaoya thought for a while. Yeah, this has nothing to do with me. I'm just. She shook her head and went upstairs. By the way, I'm going to race with Li Shanbao's junior Lin Chao at the construction site of Ma Liwan tomorrow afternoon, Xiao Chun said. Are you guys going? Of course. Come on, cousin-in-law, Jean Bebe said excitedly. Why did you agree to race with them? Don't you know that you won't die if you don't court death? Don't you know that they want to kill you? Qing Minjing was furious after hearing what Xiao Chun said. They won't kill me if I don't race? At least I know that. And it's still within my control. After all, I'm good at racing. If it's something else, such as assassination, I won't be able to deal with it, Xiao Chun said with a bitter smile. Although Qing Minjing felt that what Xiao Chun said was fallacious, it seemed to make sense. Yeah, that's right. Cousin-in-law, you're using your strengths to make up for your weaknesses. You're using what you're good at to deal with the enemy, Jean Bebe said. Kill that Lin Chao, and he won't be so arrogant anymore. Hehe, how can you kill him so easily? If you kill him, he'll come to me for revenge, Xiao Chun said as he glanced at Jean Bebe. Then kill him secretly, just like Li Shanbao, Jean Bebe said. Didn't Li Shanbao die in an accident while driving? Qing Minjing asked curiously. Right. Jean Bebe nodded. That's what I mean. Let's pray that Lin Chao dies while driving. Okay. Qing Minjing always felt obedient. At night, after Xiao Chun took the medicine, he began to train. However, what made Xiao Chen a little helpless was that although the jade ring could provide spiritual energy for training, the spiritual energy was too little and could not be compared to before. Therefore, he could not increase his speed. That night, Xiao Chen felt that he was getting closer and closer to that level. However, he was still a little bit away from it. He was only a little bit away from making a breakthrough, and he had even touched the edge. However, he just could not make a breakthrough in one go. Putting away the mental cultivation method, Xiao Chen was a little mad, but there was nothing he could do. After washing up, Xiao Chen ran in the direction of the morning market street. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe the day after tomorrow, his days in the morning market street would come to an end. Tang Tang came very early as usual. She was packing things in the grocery store. It had been a few days since she opened the store. Everything had to be prepared again. Xiao Chen, you're here. Tang Tang's eyes were a little dark and bloodshot, as if she had not slept for a few days. And what's wrong with you? Didn't you rest well yesterday? Xiao Chen asked with concern. Last night, my grandfather called me and asked me to be with you, Xiao Chuan. Tang Tang was a little depressed. She glanced at Xiao Chen. We can't sell fried dough sticks anymore in the future. Even if I want to, you Xiao Chuan won't agree. Really? I think he will agree. Xiao Chen took a deep breath and thought of an idea. Anyway, he would drag it as long as he could. Are you going to blackmail him again? But forget it. My grandfather has already come forward. If you blackmail him again, if the Tang family and the Yu family join forces to deal with you, then... Speaking of this, Tang Tang couldn't help but be a little worried. Don't worry. I will find a balance, Xiao Chen said. That's good. Tang Tang nodded. The two people packed the things. Tang Tang sat behind the tricycle, and Xiao Chen rode to the morning market street. Chapter 265. Kerlin didn't expect that she would actually get 300,000 yuan as a bonus. Moreover, it was very inexplicable. In the end, the I'm a Spokesperson competition hastily announced the results of the competition. After giving her the bonus, there was no follow-up. However, this was also good. Maybe the third place was somewhat unwilling. In addition to the bonus, there was no reputation at all. But for Kerlin, she was very happy. She got the bonus quietly, and she didn't have to delay her studies to be a spokesperson. It was simply great. However, when the bonus was taken home, Mother Lin was very happy. Lin Dongliang scolded Kerlin and told her that if there was anything in the future, she should tell the family in advance. Who knew if this kind of competition was real or fake? What if there was danger? Kerlin nodded quickly. Anyway, she would only participate once. How could there be such a good thing all the time? Kerlin felt that she had been super unlucky since she was a child. She had accumulated too much bad luck. It wasn't easy for it to break out once, but it was estimated that it would only happen once. 300,000 yuan was deposited in the bank by Lin Dongliang. He said that he would save the money for Kerlin's dowry in the future. He still had to continue his daily life. 300,000 yuan was not enough to change the living conditions of a family. Early this morning, Kerlin followed her family to the stall. She subconsciously glanced at Xiao Chen's youtiao stall not far away, but she saw a familiar figure. Xiao Chen came? But who is the girl who is busy with him? Kerlin subconsciously stopped, and the pressure on Mother Lin's side suddenly increased. She suddenly said angrily, "You unlucky child, what are you doing? Why did you stop?" "Ah, Mom, my classmates are here." Kerlin quickly continued to push and said, "I want to see them later." "What are you looking at? You are already the second spokesperson. In the future, you can shoot commercials and be a big star. Why are you still in contact with these poor people?" Mother Lin said, "Mom, didn't we agree not to talk about this outside?" Lin Kuo hurriedly said, "Yeah, don't show off your wealth. Why do you keep mentioning this? Besides, I wouldn't agree to Kuo becoming a star. The entertainment industry is very complicated. Is it something a little girl with no background like you can mix in?" Lin Dongliang said, "All right, Kuo, there's no harm in interacting more with your classmates." "You spoil your child," Mother Lin said helplessly. After the noodle stall in Lin Kuo's house was set up, Lin Kuo went to look for Xiao Chen. She wanted to ask Xiao Chun. This stall used to belong to Tang Tang. Why did he chase Tang Tang away and replace her with a beautiful older sister? How could he be so ungrateful? Xiao Chun, did you drive her away? Kerlin plucked up her courage and went to Xiao Chun's booth to question him. Question mark. Xiao Chun looked at Kerlin in confusion, being stared at by him. Kerlin was a little scared and took 2 steps back. I just wanted to ask where Sister Tang is. Tang Tang was kneading dough. Hearing that Kerlin was looking for her, she turned around and looked at Kerlin. Ku-air, are you looking for me? Who are you? Kerlin was a little confused. She didn't know the beautiful sister in front of her, but the voice seemed a little familiar. Oh, I'm Tang Tang. Tang Tang remembered that she had changed her appearance, but Kerlin didn't know it yet. So she smiled and said, "This is my original appearance. The previous one was just a disguise." Ah, disguise? Kerlin's eyes widened. Tang Tang didn't elaborate. After all, the constitution that could secrete toxins and fight poison with poison were not so easy to explain, so Tang Tang didn't say much. Well, now I'm going back. In fact, I'm from the aristocratic Tang family. In a few days, I won't be selling fried dough sticks here. Tang Tang said with some reluctance. Sister Lin, we can't see each other often in the future. Kerlin didn't expect Tang Tang to be so beautiful. She thought in her heart, no wonder Xiao Chun is with her. It turns out that he knows her true appearance. That made sense. How could a good-for-nothing young master like Xiao Chun like the previous Tang Tang? He must have known it. However, hearing that Tang Tang was leaving, Kerlin was also a little reluctant. Then this fried dough stick stall. We won't do it. If you want this position, I'll give it to you for your family. Tang Tang's position was much better than the position of Kerlin's home. This position had been occupied by the old lady of the grocery store. Well, thank you. Kerlin didn't refuse, because she also knew what this good stall meant. However, I can tell my parents to buy it for you. Hee, Sister Lin, I'm from the Tang family. Will I be short of money? Tang Tang said with a smile. Well, consider it as a gift. Aren't you Xiao Chun's little lover at school? Just consider it as a gift from Xiao Chun. Lin Kuo immediately blushed. She was Xiao Chun's little lover. But that was just a rumor. It was fake news that Zhu Yingxiong had purposely released. His goal was to make those people who were harassing her stop. But at this time, when Tang Tang mentioned it, she was embarrassed in an instant. Tang Tang actually had a purpose. She was not optimistic that Xiao Chun could be with Cheng Minjing. Before she left, she wanted to arrange it so that Xiao Chun could be with Kerlin. I will ask Xiao Chun to send you some fried dough sticks in a while, but it should be a few days. Tang Tang sighed. Well, I will send you some fried dough sticks in a while. Kerlin was also a little reluctant. Can I still play with you in the future? Yes, don't you have my mobile phone number? Just call me directly, said Tang Tang. When Kerlin left, Xiao Chun was a little surprised. He looked at Tang Tang and said, Why did you mention that Kerlin is my little lover? You know it's fake. I think you and her are good. Cheng Minjing is not very suitable for you, said Tang Tang. I think you are very suitable, said Xiao Chun. This joke is not funny at all. Tang Tang said, Well, let's work. After a while, Kerlin came to send Tang Tang and Xiao Chun the fried dough sticks. And Xiao Chun also gave her a big bag of fried dough sticks. This kind of busy day made Xiao Chun cherish it very much. Maybe he would disappear one day. A black Audi A6L drove into the morning street in a low-key manner. The car drove very slowly, and also sounded the horn. It just silently followed the crowd, and stopped near Xiao Chun's fried dough stick stall. Yu Xiaochuan got out of the car, and walked to Xiao Chun's stall. He looked at Tang Tang with some greed. Although he had played with a lot of women over the years, he had never touched a woman like Tang Tang. He was a little envious of Xiao Chun. He coughed twice and said with a smile, Tang Tang is really a good wife and mother. She can go to the hall, the kitchen and the bed. In the end, Yu Xiaochuan found that something was wrong. He couldn't tell Tang Tang that he could go to bed with her now. Tang Tang glanced at Yu Xiaochuan faintly. Although she heard that his last sentence was not good, Tang Tang was still not happy or sad. She didn't put Yu Xiaochuan in her eyes at all. Ignoring him was more helpless than being angry. Do you want to buy fried dough sticks? Haha, give me 10 yuan. Yu Xiaochuan took out 10 yuan and handed it to Xiao Chun. My 100 million, have you thought about it? Xiao Chun took the money and asked. Well, Xiao Chun, I can give you the money, but you have to show me the photo so that I can confirm that there is such a thing. Yu Xiaochuan said. That can't be done. There is also my privacy in it. Xiao Chun said. Your privacy? Yu Xiaochuan was stunned. My little brother is still up there. Xiao Chun said. Ah, cough cough. Yu Xiaochuan felt disgusted. Tang Tang wouldn't help Xiao Chun to have sex, right? Otherwise, why would he have a little brother? However, Yu Xiaochuan thought about it carefully. The young models he usually played with must have been played with many times. So he reluctantly accepted his fate. We are all men. We can see each other when we go to the toilet. Is there anything wrong with you showing it to me? I will pay. At least I have to make sure that you are not lying to me, right? Okay. Xiao Chun took out his mobile phone and pretended to press it here and there. He searched for a photo of a female AV. Then he dragged Yu Xiaochuan to a place where there was no one and handed the mobile phone to him. He said, Let me show you. Yu Xiaochuan took a deep breath and took a look. The person on it was really Tang Tang, which made his face turn green all of a sudden. D*MN. This Tang Tang is really shameless. She is too cheap. She actually did this kind of thing for Xiao Chun. The angle of the photo was obviously a selfie, so Yu Xiaochuan directly believed it. What he didn't know was that this was just an illusion arranged by Xiao Chun. The person he saw was not Tang Tang at all. 100 million is too much. How about 1 million? After Yu Xiaochuan confirmed that Xiao Chun really had a photo, he began to bargain. 1 million years. What do you think? You don't look like a fool, do you? Xiao Chun looked at Yu Xiaochuan with some contempt. This photo was taken when Tang Tang was fat. If I don't admit it, it will be useless even if you spread it. When I say it's not Tang Tang, you can't do anything. Yu Xiaochuan began to act shamelessly. Oh, I'm sorry. There is one more thing I didn't tell you. I have to give Tang Tang regular treatment. Otherwise, if she leaves me, she will become fat again. Don't you see that she is a little fatter today than yesterday? Xiao Chun said lightly. After you take her back, she may become fat again after a while. Ah, that's impossible, right? Are you lying to me? Yu Xiaochuan didn't believe it. He subconsciously turned his head to look at Tang Tang. But at a glance, it seemed that Tang Tang was a little fat. In this way, he had to believe Xiao Chun's words. It seemed that Xiao Chun didn't lie. Whether I am lying or not, can't you see for yourself? Xiao Chun pointed to Tang Tang and said lightly. The illusion was set up again. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.